Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
welcome everybody to another day of Ultimate Showdown StarCraft 2. Today we are having quite a couple of matches, 2 best of 5s and a best of 7 with none other than Zaun versus Creator, and then afterwards we'll be having Sue versus Dreams. So we're gonna start off with a PvP, and then we're gonna be doing a TVZ, followed up by a PvZ or T. We don't know exactly. But yeah, it's bound to be a good one. Anyway, with me today, Passer. Say hello, buddy. How you doing?
What is up, Enderweds? I hope you guys are as excited as I am.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. It's hard not to be excited for this one, honestly. Especially as a Alpha X member. Zaun, we are, you know what, with high expectations. Very high expectations. We're hoping the best of things of him. And let's hope that all those dreams come true, of course. Would be pretty cool to see him play the first one here. Oh, is he already in a lobby here? I think so. Wow, alright. He's doing my work for me. That's lovely.
Yeah, these guys don't mess around. Look at that. They even gave us the WCS game heart.
Yeah,
These guys are professionals.
They really are. They really are. Alright, lovely stuff. And good luck. Have fun, have fun. They're starting it up. The PvP is gonna commence here at any time. Actually, oh wait, did we link it in Discord as well? I forgot. I typed it out at one point. It's no longer copy pasted. Sushi.
Sushi, save us.
I had it like typed out, but then because there's a picture involved, it pops up in your screen, and then like people started whispering me again, and I had to go back, and then I forgot to kind of redo it at one point. Anyway, it doesn't matter too much. That's just Discord difficulties. Sometimes we're starting things off here on World of Sleepers. Looks like people truly have come around once more on the. Luckily, we still have it set from previous time. All right, in the bottom left side, the player from Alpha X, the red Protoss. Can he make it happen? He's, I think it's his first time in a big tournament from Alpha X here, but you know what would be amazing if he gets a victory here? He is a Zaun.
And his opponent in the top, showing us a very strong, powerful performance yesterday, looking to close things out today. It is our blue Protoss Creator. Still for generic Green Wings as well, so...
Yeah. I mean, they have good players, right? They harbor the best players in the world for StarCraft 2, it's said. I wouldn't disagree with it, honestly. There's some pretty scary people there.
Well, with how he was playing yesterday, you could definitely tell that he gets some good practice. Like, I actually was watching him a little bit earlier today play in the ESL Pro tournament for Asia, and he was actually dominating there, even taking down Special 2-0. So
Ooh.
he is definitely in form today as well, and it looks like he's going to start things off a little cheeky here.
But yeah, I was this earlier today with the tournaments you're referring to.
Well, it was the ESL Pro Tournament Asia, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't see the whole thing, but I did see him play against Special because Special was streaming his matches, and it was very fun to watch because we actually saw the same Phoenix builds that we saw yesterday, where he would get about 6 Phoenix and then go into Colossi, and essentially it was just a very powerful performance. Even one of the greatest foreign Terrans in the world could not stop him. And looks like Zaun, to try and stop him, is actually going to be hiding a pylon as well. So this proxy Stargate, a pretty nice build. I think Zaun will know that something is up.
Yeah.
And even Creator is going to know that there's going to be a hidden pylon. So very interesting scouting from both sides here.
Yeah, definitely trying to find those proxies here. It seems it's quite a fortunate movement from that probe here from Creator, honestly. But yeah, I did see actually. I think it was earlier today as well. Creator being in the tournament. I don't know. I did only got the tail end of it. But yeah. I mean, he was playing there. And I don't even know what happens, but he's a busy boy. He's a busy boy, that's for sure.
There is no such thing as sleep when there is StarCraft to be played.
Right, so the Oracle did get spotted here. Zaun now quickly trying to scramble all his forces back to his main base here. He is going to get his Nexus a little bit earlier on rather than Creator. He's also going to go for the Stargate actually, which is a little bit later here, but did try to get a couple more of those Stalkers out. The shield battery, look at that timing, holy moly, that is just in the nick
Very
of time.
clutch. Yeah, and to counter this, he's actually going for some Phoenix to kind of chase away those Oracles. So he's giving a lot of respect to him because he knows that Creator, once he gets in there, once he gets any kind of damage, then you're going to be in a world of trouble. But now, you kind of just have this paperweight building in the middle of the map. You're not really going to get too much done here, as Zaun is going to be moving across as soon as he drops down his Nexus.
Yes, he is. And, you know what, there was a little bit of a pylon block there as well for Zaun. Creator doing a good job there, delaying that Nexus a little bit. Even though Zaun was looking to be the first one to throw that down, gonna be delayed there because of it. Now, of course, Creator gonna be able to get that double probe production up a little bit quicker here. Just a slight advantage, but always nice to see those little tiny things making a difference, of course, in the long run.
Yeah, and this is going to be a little bit scary for Creator right now because those Stalkers very vulnerable to the Phoenix. You do need that stasis ward. That's a good little shout there. But for right now, he just really needs to focus on getting the his macro up and running, as we do see Immortals coming out for Zaun. So his army is just going to get exponentially better as time goes on. While Creator, he's only really going to have Blink here. Not that good versus Immortals.
Yeah, this is true. Well, to be fair, I mean, as long as you have enough Stalkers, you can just kind of blink on Immortals and take them down. But yeah, you still need to kind of have a superior number by quite a margin to make that happen.
Yeah,
it's possible, but yeah.
Those Immortals do not like to die. I don't know why though. It might have something to do with their name. I'm not entirely sure. You know.
They're tough, they're tough nuts to crack, that is for sure, yeah.
Yeah, you just need really big numbers with this composition. And looks like right now he is going to be just getting that forge for some fast upgrades, looking to even the playing field that way. I actually really like this third base. It's going to be a little bit harder to defend, but if he can get that up, he is going to be able to get those numbers quite easily. And actually, he's going to be moving out with this force as well.
Yeah, looks like there is a bit of a little bit of a attack in the middle here for both players actually. Blinkstalk is always great to have them a little bit further forward, so you can have a couple of exchanges before the actual battle happens. And oh my dear lord, that's a dead wall prism. I might just nip this entire aggression in the butt already for Zaun, because you know what, I'm not sure if you want to keep pressing forward if you can't reinforce your army here.
Yeah, big problem here. Look out for that stasis trap. I don't know. He actually can see it, I think, with that observer, so he's not going to go in there just yet. He's going to try and get on top of that Immortal, just get that shield to pop. And this is actually going to force Zaun to recall here, because you do need that shield when the battle starts. So yeah, behind this, Creator's just going to go into Archons here, get some sort of splash damage in. And Zaun just giving a lot of respect once again.
Yeah, has to add on his own Twilight Council here. He's gonna go for Zealot Speed instead, a charge upgrade. Almost ready actually for Creator, of course. He did not get that robotics facility for a while there, so gonna be a lot quicker there. Oh my dear lord, those Phoenixes just getting caught out every single time.
Yeah, not really living up to their full potential there. You can't really afford to replace them anymore, as you're already going for this next little stage in your gameplay. But yeah, now we kind of see the game mellow out a lot, as both players are just going to be powering up for a little bit. Not too much else you can really say about it, as Zaun still only on 2 base, however, so his economy is going to be a little bit worse.
Yeah, I mean, Creator's gonna have to just build up a big defense here with the 3 base economy. As long as he survives the eventual attack, I would imagine, from Zaun here, he's gonna be in a perfect position. Zaun is definitely pressed to try and take on that third base of Creator here. I'm not sure if, I mean, he is aware of it, but I'm not sure how incredibly pressed he feels to start trying to put the aggression on that third base.
Yeah, with 3 Immortals here, these Blink Stalkers just going to look to do a couple pickoffs, but not really going to get it just yet. So instead he's just going to back on out of there.
Yeah.
And it does look like Creator is set to do this attack. But these choke points just really hard to get through, especially now that Zaun has some Archons of his own. So those Zealots will actually just get ripped to shreds here. I think the best thing Creator can do right now is actually wait for a +2 because Zaun does not have that upgrade going at all. So that upgrade will absolutely shred through his army.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite a big advantage indeed. Just with this amount of gateway forces from both these players. I mean, I like the fact that Zaun is just continuously adding more and more Archons here. It's definitely going to help out well against the composition that Creator has. But he still has to get up there. He still has to kind of get some damage done. It's just so much from Creator here. He's setting up a surround even. Perhaps, is he? He might just try to be safe on both sides. Okay, no, he's just going to rotate on his own side here.
I actually like this because it made sure that wherever Zaun decided to rotate, and keep in mind Zaun does have a lot of places he can rotate here, he was going to be safe. He was going to be able to buy himself time to get the army there. And as this fight starts, Creator taking a lot of damage on these Zealots. +2 is complete, however, so his army is just so much more powerful. And you can see the left side shredding through Creator's forces here, while those Stalkers on the right actually might want to get on top of that Warp Prism, just shut down these reinforcements. Yeah. Great Warp Prism micro as well, keeping some of those weakened Archons alive, and he's actually going to get through this fight, completely annihilating the army of Zaun, and I don't know if he will continue, and that is true. GG.
First game here in favor for Creator. Congratulations to him. We're going to go into game number 2, of course, between these two players, but yeah, Zaun definitely just being caught off the back foot there a little bit. Yeah, it seemed like Creator had every step already planned out before, you know, Zaun really could even act upon his own plan of execution there.
Yeah, just little mind games from both sides here with the proxy pylon location for Zaun and the proxy Stargate for Creators. So overall, just really solid play. I like how it just went into a standard macro game behind that, because that is a really difficult thing to do in a mirror matchup, is after you do some sort of cheesy little shenanigan, just going back into a normal game is almost impossible.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if it doesn't do anything, really. Did it? I don't think it did. I mean, the shield battery was there in time. There was Stalkers as well, just thwarting away that Oracle, and it didn't get to do anything as we got to see there. And yeah, just making things very difficult here for Creator, but it didn't matter too much. He just managed to get ahead, economically speaking, just on his own terms, grabbing his own quick Nexus, and then afterwards grabbing a quicker third as well. And he just stayed on that 3-base economy for such a long period of time without Zaun really pressing the initiative there for a while. And Creator, because of this, just managed to get a much bigger army than Zaun. I mean, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's a lot more that happened there. But yeah, well played by Creator. That is for sure. Anyway, the next game. Oh wait, actually, there's a little bit of thing there. All right, it's fixed. All right, in the top left side, we have a red Protoss player from the Alpha X roster, a new addition. He is Zaun.
And his opponent, he is taking flight for the Jin Air Green Wings. He is our Blue Protoss Creator.
Well, we have both players just opening up standards so far. You don't really see any proxy gateways all that often anymore. Or forge up starts. Sometimes you see a little bit of a cannon rush here and there. Neither of these players want to sink that low though into the sewer mermaidery. And,
oh, don't worry. I'm sure we will see some sewer mermaidery today.
hopefully, yeah.
Just a little bit. It'll be like a clean sewer, like if you're in a vegan community, and it'll be in that sewer.
All right.
I don't know where I was going with that, but I'll stick with it. But very interesting scouting position from Zaun. He's sending a probe kind of hidden away in a normal proxy location, but Creator just surpassing expectations, going to go for the proxy once again, as Zaun will be matching it with a Stargate of his own, I reckon.
It does look like a Stargate position, you know. Creator could be a robo as well. Actually, puts down a gateway here first of all. So that is interesting. It's going to go up to 3 gates here. Is he still going to add a robo as well? That is my question. Zaun actually adding on a robo here. So most likely will try to do some sort of immortal warp prism shenanigans.
Yes. Yeah, so what I reckon is this is going to be some 3-gate stalker aggression versus that proxy robo. And already Zaun just trying to make sure that his opponent does not see this. The same for Creator. Everything kind of looks normal here, but the second you get into that base is when you know something is up. So looks like Creator still doing a pretty decent job of scouting it out. Unfortunately, he can't see that high ground location, but he is queued up to it.
Yeah, it is a very commonplace to proxy after all. It's going to take him a little bit here until he gets to see what is actually happening there. 2 stalkers are coming around as well. Looks like they are going to get met by these other 2 stalkers, actually. Oh, wait.
Well,
oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Did that just happen? Oh, my God.
That just happened.
Ring around the rosy.
Yeah, the real question is who is going to blink, no pun intended, first here and just cancel their aggression and go back to defend. Right now, it looks like it's going to be Creator because his units just taking an absolute beating here, even getting a Stargate behind all of this, but Zaun will recall, not losing one of his stalkers, so a good start to his aggression, getting a lot of Creator's units really far in the red.
Yeah, very nice indeed. Look at that. Nice bit of damage down on that one stalker, a little bit of damage on the other one. Gonna be easy pickings for that Immortal. It looks like Zaun did take a little bit of damage there on his own stalker though. There is still 4 more stalkers here on the other side. Zaun is ready to wall off his main base with a probe there, of course. As is the usual way of the Protoss.
You know, I really enjoy this Stargate because Creator just so smart. Getting that Void Ray in a way that he is going to be able to defend this, and actually it looks like he's just going to try and force his way up the ramp. There is no recall for Zaun, so he won't be able to bring his army back, so we might be in a bit of a base trade situation here where Creator has a bit of a head start.
He definitely does, but the Immortal, of course, does that do that extra damage. But let's take a look at the numbers of the overall units here. We're going to try to have us around from those probes, trying their best to get right on top of everything here. Or they're just going to go across the map. It might actually be them just going across the map here. Still has some probes mining gas, but at the other side, you know what? All the probes for Creator did get picked off here. Zaun does... Oh my god, that's a recall. How much is going to get recalled here? Zaun moving very smartly, a little bit further away. The Void Ray coming in as well at the same time. We need to see great Warp Prism Micro here. We need to just see them continuously being picked up here to avoid being shot by the stalkers as much as possible. It didn't really happen though.
Yeah, now the probes who were trying to go to the army for safety actually all about to be lunch for the army of Creator here. So Creator does come out fully on top.
Oh, and
That's
one
adept just picking up the rest of it.
That's rough.
Oh, that's terrible for Zaun right now.
Is the recall happening with the Warp Prism, and 2 Immortals actually are inside of it. Looks like another Immortal did come across the map here. Now, the weird part of all of this is that there's 8 workers versus 2. So, I mean, if Zaun does manage to kind of hold off this attack still, manages to just grab a couple more resources with those probes and warp in a couple more Stalkers, maybe he's going to be able to do something here. He also still has quite a lot of gas, so he could warp in a sentry and buy even more time by force shielding the ramp here. Let's see if he does any of that, though.
Yeah, the big problem is obviously that Void Ray. You just don't have the Stalker count just yet to defeat that. He's going to have one Stalker to try and get rid of those shields, but yeah, I mean, he's still... All he really needs to do is just buy a lot of time to rebuild that probe count, because he is... Because, I don't know if you know this, but Protoss units, they're pretty pricey. I don't think you can really afford it on only 6 probes.
Oh my god, Creator's moving backwards here now. That's very interesting. Creator, actually, he is trying to recreate all those probes, and he is trying to make this a macro game again. It looks like, let's take a look, yeah, Zaun also now recreating his probes. This is a crazy advantage now, I guess, for Zaun. I mean, army supply is pretty close as well right now.
Oh,
and a lot of
Creator
stuff is still deep out for Creator.
He can't even afford a pylon. That is really unfortunate for him right now. These Immortals, however, are going to be really good to just pick off these Stalkers going to town, while the Void Ray wails away on the War Prism.
War Prism, keep moving! What are you doing? Go, go, go! Alright, yeah, he gets out there. Thank God. Alright, yeah, this is a really weird situation. I don't think Creator really read that correctly. Maybe he thought the just amount of probes that Zaun had was a little bit lower, because that one adept in the main base really only saw 1 probe, right? So maybe he was going according to what he observed there, not really kind of forgetting about all those probes that did move across the map here. The Immortals depowering that pylon once again, and the Stalkers now as well coming in. Oh, the War Prism does get picked off though. That's a big deal, but so does the Void Ray, and GG is called. Great job there by Zaun. I don't know how he did it. Maybe it was Creator just misreading the situation a little bit there, but in the end, Zaun managing to take the victory there in the end. Lovely stuff, lovely stuff.
It just really... You can tell that these guys do not want a long series, because they are pulling out all of the tricks, and it is really fun to see.
Yeah, true. And then, I mean, to be fair, PvP never really has been the show or the series to really go long. Especially the Koreans, they love to do the proxies, and it gets really crazy very quickly. As we saw just now, that was a bit ridiculous. Okay, Creator was Protoss or Terran for a moment there. Luckily, he did catch on.
Yeah, he stole it. I think he stole it from me, because I was in that slot for a second. But that would be a less fun series.
Well, I mean, if you want Zaun to win, then I mean, you know, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
if we want to rig it, just put one of these guys up against me, and they'll get an easy win.
Yeah.
Hashtag Forever
Easy.
Diamond.
I mean, we already have the name tag, right? Already changed up for so no matter who joins, it's always going to be Creator in the name tag there in the bottom left. Anyway, let's do a reversal here of introductions. In the top right, we have a blue Protoss. He is from Jin Air Green Wings, not to be confused with Green Wings Jin Air. He is Creator.
And down here in the bottom, representing the Yellow Dragon, not to be confused with X Alpha, it is Alpha X's Zaun.
Okay, alright. No probes running across the map this time around. At least not yet. Maybe later on at some point, but...
Yeah, the big timing for those proxies has really been that that after that Cybernetics core was started, that's when we see the probes usually start to move out. Zaun maybe being careful here. He does not want there to be some sort of cannon shenanigery in his base. And
perhaps. Yeah, I mean, it's a wise choice. Creator playing it a little bit more on the edge, not going for that scout here. Sound though on the other side, I mean, he is, you know, they're both going to kind of sneaky locations here. It's going to be a fun one, I feel like. I can feel it already. Wait, no, he's going to go for the scout. Alright, never mind.
Yeah, and this is one thing as well. This is really tricks off your opponent, because what you're essentially doing is you're scouting and counting the number of pylons. These guys are professionals. They know how many pylons there's supposed to be, and you always know when something is up, because he sees that there is one pylon left, and it's actually just the pylon that we saw Zound do in game number 1, where I don't think he's going to throw down anything with it. It's just there to make sure that his opponent is thrown off a little bit, as we will be seeing those two adepts be coming on out, looking to get a little bit of damage done on the other side of the map.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, those proxy pylons with nothing there really can truly be a bit of a pain for anyone to try and figure out what your opponent is up to, and just be some fake news, really, as some people call it. You know, some wise individuals.
So yeah, these adepts doing a pretty. These adepts are actually a really nice start here, because essentially they can kind of just force you to be throwing down buildings at your natural, and it's usually about 75 minerals so you lose about 25 minerals each time. And actually is going to get in with one of them, but yeah, his buddy got locked out. Okay, that was not too bad.
Citizen's arrest there, the probe's coming off the line. The other adept now coming in. Another one. You don't see that very often, do you? Just like a split up on the units there. I think that might have been the first time I've ever seen that happen. Anyway, tech-wise, we're seeing the Robo coming out of Creator and the Twilight Council coming out for Zound here. It's going to be quite interesting to see what Zound is going to go for. Is it going to be the Blink? Most likely. I mean, he does have a lot of Stalkers. And
Yeah, I think Blink is going to be the best thing for him right now. One of the things is he's actually getting his Forge at a much faster time than in game number 1 as well. So yeah, there we go. We see the Blink coming down, and he does not want to fall behind on the upgrades like he did in game number 1. So even so, Creator having a small lead in that regard, but it's not really going to be super tangible here, as that Forge will start to spin on up in just a second. There we go.
+1 indeed. It was a kind of a fun firing squad there of Stalkers chasing down that adept in a perfect line. They just kind of stayed. It was nice to see. Anyway, true teamwork from those Stalkers. Walking hand in hand there. Yeah, so now we're seeing Zound as well going for the robotics facility here. After the Blink upgrade. I mean, of course you're a little bit vulnerable perhaps to those Immortals with the mostly Stalker army. But I mean, if you jump on top of an Immortal and manage to kind of just immediately take it out right after, so it only gets like 2 shots or something like that, maybe the investment of the money in those extra Stalkers, you might be able to make it work. But I mean, he's adding his own robotics facility, so it's not gonna really come to that though. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I love to see that micro battle, but yeah, oh well.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much just going to go into a standard macro here. Both sides really want to power up, because if they kind of jump too early, then they're going to have way too many problems with reinforcing, with the fights, and yeah, we're going to see charge start up for both players as well. So we should start seeing that kind of switch into Archon Zealot, especially on Creator's side, as he does have the Templar Archive started.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the Templar Archives added on quicker here for Creator. I was expecting it to come out of Zound here a little bit sooner, but I guess that's just the difference, because he did have to add the extra gas into the upgrade for the Blink here. Well, he didn't have to, but he chose to.
Yeah, both sides also getting that third Nexus, so a lot more even than when we were in game number 1 at the same time. So look at this, these Zaun just really trying to get some work done, but the Shield Prism, or Shield Battery and the Immortal enough to shoo everything away.
Oh my god, don't give Blizzard any ideas. We don't need a shield prism walking around with the army of the Protoss as well. Just like
You
giving
know what?
shields...
That's going to be patch 1.25 in
Oh dear.
2042.
Alright, anyway, looks like Creator might actually be moving out here, but the Immortal actually got out of position here, and those Stalkers... Oh, with the Archon there. I think he was expecting more of the army to appear there. But yeah, almost getting that some damage done there. Immortal, though, not taking any damage here. Another Immortal just randomly positioned on the map here. That's interesting. Sentry as well. Alright, I mean, sure. It says sound, he'll take it. Give me those 3 units.
Any pickoffs hurt at this point, because you just want to not be delayed a little bit. It looks like Creator's going to be moving out and going towards that third base location. Unfortunately for him, Zaun on completely equal supply here, and his whole army is in position. But is there actually a War Prism with this?
Zaun is... Yeah, there's a War Prism for Creator, and Zaun is making his War Prism right now to also do some micro, but Zaun didn't have any Immortals, which kind of worries me, but he did have to shoot batteries, of course. And Creator doesn't... you know what? He looks like he changed his mind. Doesn't want to go for the offensive anyway. It kind of felt like one of those pushes you do against Zerg, where you kind of want them to make army units instead of worker units. But then
you
I'm
kind
not
of
sure.
just make push him, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they do this in PvP as well, to try and get their opponent to make more shield batteries or stuff like that, like static defensive structures. I don't know.
Yeah, they're definitely giving each other a lot of respect here. Zaun does not want to jump the gun too early. He's actually investing in units rather than that +3 upgrade, so if Creator can hold on to this, he will have the upgrade lead once again, and we saw how one upgrade lead really takes the fight. But looks like he's going to be just rotating with about half his army, heading towards that 4th base Nexus, and going to probably get that cancel there pretty easily. And it looks like the surround is almost fully set up here, and here we go. Zaun going to be moving in on the left and the right. The Archons going to be backing up here just so they can get the pivotal splash damage. War Prism might go really good here, but there might be a little bit too much for Creator here, although the Archons starting to get really low on that shield energy, and Zaun starting to punch through a little bit.
It is definitely happening here. Those Immortals are the final bastion of Creator. They are falling though, and it looks like Zaun managed to find a way up that ramp and take another victory on the board here. Gonna put him on match point, and Creator is in a bit of a pickle right now. A bit of a pickle.
Oh yeah, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that unlike yesterday, these are best of 5 series, so Creator is not out of it just yet. But yeah, we still got a lot of great games after this one, and I'm glad these guys are pretty much essentially making it so that we go to the next one pretty quickly, actually.
Yeah, I really I appreciate Zaun just continuously being on the points here, on the ball. Hosting these lobbies. He's like, you know what, these guys, they just like to talk. Let me do the important things. But yeah, good stuff by him. Anyway, man, all right, that was another one of those weird games. I think it was just, I mean, again, Zaun not investing into, like you said, that upgrade, right? But also not investing into a 4th base, which Creator was trying to put down there. And I mean, yeah, it just turned out that Zaun, because of this, had just a little bit more army. And in the end, that just snowballs, man. If you have just a couple more units, you just deal a little bit more damage, which means you're going to decrease the damage of your opponents significantly. And then that just kind of snowballs, right? Your damage just keeps around the same level here. It drops slower, but then it drops even slower because you're dealing more damage. It's interesting how that works. Okay, there's a new map gonna be created here. Okay. But,
There
yeah.
we go.
Sound doing a wonderful job so far. I think Creator couldn't join this one.
Yeah, they can be a bit buggy here. Looks like Triton probably freezes his game with how cold it is.
It chokes up. His computer gets a runny nose. A runny USB port. Alright, no. Creator needs a second, it seems. Either that or Zaun is asking Creator to wait. One of those.
Let's see.
You're gonna do the Google Translate?
Yeah.
All
He
right.
says, Jaman.
What? I think there might be a problem there with Google Translate.
Sleep only.
Why is Google Translate making sound like a Jamaican person?
I have no idea.
All right. Fair enough. Anyway, yeah, just a moment. I've been trying to like a couple of times when you do use Google Translate to translate Korean though. Every single time when I'm in like a Korean Twitch or stream, they call me out. They know it's Google Translate, and they're like, "Ha ha ha ha, Google Translate." And I'm like, yeah, you got me.
Well, it's funny because like the Asian languages are just so bad in Google Translate. Like I used to I used to use it for Japanese all the time when I lived there, and it's because the sentence structure is so different. It's like Google Translate tries to get it into an English sentence structure and just can't.
Very calm,
And
yeah.
it's like it's always funny because sometimes you just get those little gems where you turn it from Korean to English and then back again, and then it says something completely different.
Yeah. It happens. It happens for sure. But, alright. On match point. In the top left side, on Triotin. It's the red Protoss. He is Sound from Alpha X. The new Pride and Joy.
And flying high on the other side, he's blue, but he is not sad. It is Jin Air Green Wings Creator.
Right. The gateways have been placed. The positioning for those gateways cannot be changed anymore unless if they cancel them and put themselves behind quite a little bit here. I don't think it matters too much anyway. It's never really seen anybody do anything like that.
Yeah, we're pretty much seeing the same thing out of these guys once again. Zaun gonna actually just make sure that he's safe. He knows Creator can sometimes pull out that cannon rush in dire situations.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like a dire situation. He only has one game left here that he can lose, and then he's just out. He's just out of the tournament. As the first player here in the playoffs. That's gonna mean he's like third, fourth place. It's still pretty good out of the 8 players that we started with, but still.
Yeah, like we had a huge pool of amazing talent here, and you know, Zaun is really holding his own with the best of them. I must admit, this is the first time I've actually heard of him, but he sounds like a guy who's been making waves in the past couple weeks at the start of the year.
Yeah, so what I've heard is that I think he went to League of Legends for a while. And now he's back. He's back at StarCraft 2. I think he made a switch to League, and now he made a switch back. I think that's what happens. But yeah, he's definitely on a tear here in the StarCraft scene. He's been making waves. He's been improving continuously, and because of this switch, he still has a lot of room to improve as well, of course. But yeah, that's just great to see. At least this is what I heard. I'm not 100% sure if my information is correct. If not, well, then you can blame Creighton. But he's usually right about these types of things. He's a smart guy.
Indeed, indeed. So, Creator, you know, he's actually doing something really strange in this game. All of his buildings are in his base.
Yeah,
Like
we
that.
have not seen that yet, have we?
No, like he's like it's just like some of his he's trying to quarantine some of his buildings just by building them outside of his base, but this time, you know, he feels safe enough, you know, they're not going to infect any of the other buildings. They're not they don't have the Zerg biomass on them. And you know, we do see a hidden Twilight Council out of Zound, and I'm starting to think maybe this isn't Blink, maybe this is something a little more invisible, perhaps.
Could be, it could be. I mean, he does have a lot of Stalkers again. I wouldn't mind.
Okay, it is just Blink.
What a shame. Oh my god, is he gonna get this other Stalker as well, actually? Oh, it's gonna get me. Oh my god, how does that happen? It sounds Stalkers just have superpowers, man. They're like the Flash of the Terran or the Protoss race.
Yeah, he just got that aggression going, and he does not want Creator to have a single unit on the field. Although Creator will have that Immortal out pretty soon here, so you can't really go too much further as Zound.
Yeah, he did make the lobby, right? So is there a way where you can just set your units to walk like 5% quicker than your opponent's units? Is that a thing that can happen?
Only if they're Zealots.
Right, only if, well, I mean, it felt like that. Oh my dear lord, there's only sentries. Okay, the Immortal is coming out now as well. Just gonna have to force Zound to use that recall. Losing 2 of those Stalkers still, though. It's not what he was hoping for.
Yeah, 2 Stalkers down, and this game kind of resets for a couple seconds here. Creator going for a fast Warp Prism as well, so now he can really go across the map and harass a lot more. His +1, I thought would have been a little bit quicker, but it does look like Zound actually getting that off first, and he will have Blink as well, so you got to be careful with this Warp Prism. But Creator on the attack, and he is not wanting to be stopped here.
Yeah, moving forwards, this is a pretty good timing. Zound did invest a lot of money into that Nexus right now. He's putting on shield batteries only at this time period as he sees with his hallucination that there's no units anymore at Creator's base here. Now that third base might still buy a little bit of time here for those shield batteries to finish up, as the army of Creator seems to be quite interested in trying to take that one on first of all. But Zound being the person here wanting to not lose that third base, it seems, putting in, or at least trying to make use of this time as much as possible. Should be a cancel right there's the cancel. Sets off the Immortal shield here. Now targeting down those sentries. There we go. Now maybe we're gonna see a blink on top of either the Immortal or the Warp Prism. No, I mean Creator moves back. He's kind of scared of that enormous amount of Stalkers, and I mean I can't blame him. But the second Immortal joins in right now. Oh, Nelly, that is not too pretty. That's a lot of damage immediately being dished out.
Yeah, good Blink Black's going to make sure that he doesn't lose all of his Stalkers, but actually going to just tear off a couple of them to go harass across the map. And that does mean this Natural is a lot more exposed. He has to be careful here because you can reinforce this really easily as Creator right now. Actually, he's just going to go on home, not really going to press his advantage any.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised by this, honestly. I thought Creator would either... Wait, okay, well there we go, he recalls. Maybe he was expecting more stuff to actually be here on this moving in, but I don't think he really saw too much, right? Anyway, alright.
Not till the last second.
Yeah, and also another thing that kind of surprises me is that Creator behind this wasn't building his third Nexus at all, right? Only now gonna be putting that one down. So even with getting the cancel there, he didn't really get too much of an advantage because Zound still is gonna be the first person to put it down. I mean, it's pretty equal, but yeah, it's a weird one.
Yeah, just overall with Blink, Zound can be aggressive on the map. He can really just start picking off units without really too much a threat to himself. and he can just kind of make sure that creator can't really be super far out without taking some hits. And while Zound is going home with this, he's never really at home. He's just gonna be, camping out that Zeldnaga watchtower, watching the different pathways. Charge is complete for creator, however, so this becomes a little bit more difficult for Zound to deal with.
Yeah. Need to be careful. Well, might want to add in a couple more of those Archons right here. He does have the technology to do so. Only has one, actually two right now, so that's alright. I mean, but he needs more. That's so many Zealots right now. He needs to get rid of those as quickly as possible to make room for his Stalkers to really target down those Immortals as quickly as possible. But, yeah, let's see. I mean, he still has some Force Fields as well. But then again, the Archons for Creator are there too. They're ready to squash those very quickly here.
Yeah, it looks like we got a really good concave down the ramp. Creator does not want to push into that just yet, but one more Archon, a few more Zealots warping on in, and he is going to hit the trap button and just attack into this on the left side. The Zealots doing pretty good. They are starting to get splashed down by those Archons. But overall, these Immortals doing a pretty good job with the Stalkers. They just need to not focus all their attention on these Zealots, and he is actually going to really tear through this army here. He's got a big advantage now, but he's not going to push forward just yet. He's giving Zound a little bit of time to regroup, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, for sure. Also, there's still 2 shield batteries in the natural base. Oh, catching us Archon here. That's not too shabby. But, oh my god, maybe overcommitting a little bit to grab that War Prism. I mean, that's a big deal killing that, but is it too little too late? 2 more shield batteries coming in as well, but my dear lord. Alright, he really desperately needs those right now.
It's all going to come down to that War Prism micro. It looks like Creator actually just going to back off with this. Put the Mortals out in front and then go in once again. The shield battery helping out a lot, but there's just way too much burst damage with this.
Jeez Louise, he almost won that just with using the Immortals there. I mean, he's got to feel comfortable, right? He does have to warp in all the way back home. So he's going to have to, which is another thing about the micro, right? It makes it more difficult to micro as he has to go back home with his camera and then move back here again. So he's going to have small moments of time where he's not really near the battle. But he does have a second War Prism now that is ready to help out. And the army of Zound now not really anywhere to be seen anymore. This might be it here. Passer, I'm not completely sure this is anywhere winnable for Zound anymore. But Stalker's coming in from the back. I don't think this is it. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, GG.
Unfortunately,
match point all around.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hoping Zound would just squeeze another victory out there, but he's gonna put us all on edge, all us Alpha X fans, and we're gonna have to go into game number 5 here.
Yeah, and this is gonna be an interesting one because it's Zen Lee, which has so many different like little choke points, little aggressive paths. This is gonna be a fun one to watch.
Indeed, it will be. A lot of potential for force fields, especially in that earlier part of the game. Yeah, there might be more Stargate play as well. I mean, there is a lot of dead space to abuse on this map, right? I kind of would be surprised if neither of the players go for Stargates on this one, actually. But we're gonna have to wait and see. Also, there's great proxy locations as well, right? On the sides of the main bases here. There's some great places where you can just hide stuff very easily. Which are very difficult for your opponent to scout out.
And we'll have to see what they decide to do as these guys are loading in right about now. And they're just getting ready here. You don't really have that buffer anymore. You are stuck with knowing that this might be your last game. So without further ado, let's introduce this guy in the bottom position representing Alpha X as the Red Protoss. He is Zound.
his opponent. Making it a tight series once again after losing 2 games in a row here. Wait, did he lose 2 games? No, I think he won.
Just one.
Forgot. Just one in a row. It's the Blue Protoss player. He is Creator. That's right. Sound won the... What, did Sound win the first game?
No, he did lose 2. He did lose 2 in a row. I lost count. I lost count about 20 minutes ago. It's daylight savings time. There's no...
It's early in the morning for me as well, so don't blame us. Blame the game. Don't hate the casters. Hate the game.
I blame television.
Yep. Ruined our generation.
No attention span.
No. It's really. I think peer pressure was a big deal as well there for both of us. Always there, just lurking. Anyway, all right. So both players going for the regular double gate opening here. Unlike Estrella, which we saw play previously in the show matches as well, did go for a lot of one gate openings, and I've not seen it ever since anymore. I guess it's not been that long, but in the PvP series, you know what, I'm still kind of interested in seeing something like that work and what his idea is, because he doesn't really do something without putting much thought into it. But I've not seen other players really do it just yet, so... Anyway, he's not in this show match. We're watching Sound versus Creator now, of course. Sound is a teammate, but then again, I mean, I'm not sure how much they actually are talking with one another. Might be a bit of a language barrier there.
Yeah, definitely true there. You know, a lot of times people expect teams to be fairly cohesive, but then you realize like people never talk. But yeah, going back to the game, Zound throwing down once again that Twilight Council. That seems to be his go-to in this series, just trying to get that blink up and ready, and just getting those pickoffs early on to try and force his opponent to react.
Yeah.
And he does have a hidden pylon that I'm still really interested with.
Oh yeah, there we go. Sound putting it down there in the bottom right side. This could actually be DT's actually, yeah.
Zound, I will love you forever.
Oh my god, it happened again. One adept got in. Oh, but
yeah,
the stalkers did
stalker was stuck.
Yeah. That is rough. That is definitely rough. Losing quite a couple of probes here. 3 probes go down. As well as quite a bit of work time. And there is the Dark Shrine. Creator on the other side. He is making a robotics facility though.
Yeah, but will he go straight into Immortals is the big question there.
That would surprise me if he would. Puts down another proxy pylon here. Gonna be quite a ruckus if he does go straight for an observer here. I mean, you never really see people go straight into the observer, right, in PvP. This doesn't make sense. Wouldn't make sense. Especially if you... Wait, does he have... Yeah, if you have 2 sentries, you're gonna use the hallucinations instead. So, very unlikely that he will go for the observer here, but... Yeah, there it is.
Yep, straight into Immortals. And the big thing as well is that he is going to have to stay on top of throwing the building down to wall himself off. Zound, actually the first one to expand here. He's got to cancel those adepts. Yeah, they're not going to get too much done here, especially after this first one dies.
And with the shield battery there, yeah.
A good scout out though. You know, did he actually?
He sees that there's tech. Well, kind of tech. Wait, did he see the Twilight Council there?
He saw the Twilight Council, but he also saw that the Twilight Council wasn't making anything.
Oh, the force field on the ramp.
That could be a tell as well.
And now Chrono boosting out the Observer. These, even using the shield battery on the gateway here. Another force field blocking in the Dark Templar here. Recall has to be used. And that's going to be it for these Dark Templars. So now that is not a good start for Sound here. That's rough. That is rough. Passer, I'm a little bit wary now. I'm a bit scared.
Well, the good thing for Zound is that he can always just turn these into Archons and get some more value out of them. Now that it's kind of known, but Yeah, I mean, behind all of this, you pretty much have to stay back in your base. You can't really move out here as Zaun, and you're pretty much just at the whim of Creator, who has full map control and full map presence. Might actually be looking to attack here as well.
Very well might. I mean, that is some hefty damage that you do if you just cancel any sort of well, Dark Templar aggression. It's a lot of money spent into those units. And of course they are Archons right now, but Archons, they are mostly effective against the Zealots, which is not anywhere in the composition here for Creator. Is that the Immortals, the Stalkers, not the best enemy here for these Archons. Oh, he moves back. Alright, never mind. Change his mind.
That seems to be the name of the game for these guys. Neither side really attacks the first time. It's like, first attack, free defend. Free defense, not even going to try it. But actually, Zaun going to be doing a bit of a riskier play here. Instead of getting a Warp Prism, he's going to just throw down that gateway for the fast warp-ins. Even getting some more DTs here as well. So, he's ready for it, but the problem is, how are you going to get up that ramp? There are minerals in the way.
There's a little bit of a gap here where you should be able to move through, right?
You can, but you'll just be going in one by one.
That's
And
true.
yeah, like that Archon.
He can't even go through, can he?
Yeah, he'll
It's
just
too
go
small.
back to the reinforces army.
No. Alright, alright. For a moment I thought he was going to send those DTs into the main base or something there, but I mean, he doesn't know, of course, that the observers are positioned in a way where he may have been able to get through there. But yeah, again, we're seeing Zaun kind of second-guessing this attack here as well. And moving backwards. Neither of these players want to commit when the opponent has the defender's advantage here.
Yeah, and that's one of the things about this map is you do have a really big defender's advantage just with these choke points almost everywhere. It's really hard to reinforce. It's really hard to get in there. And I like that Creator is setting up for, I guess, something. I don't really know where his War Prism's going. But
it's like it's going on a cruise. It's a cruise War Prism. It's not meant for any tactical stratagems. It's just here for having a good time and showing the beautiful area of Zen. On your left here, you can see a beautiful mineral field open for exclusive Protoss expansion.
Yeah, I mean, you always need a break in the middle of a battlefield. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. One thing I gotta say as well, these guys are actually really good at getting the scouts out. They just know these maps so well, even though that this is one of the newer maps. It's been out for a couple of months now, so
yeah.
You pretty much know all the nuances, although that is a pretty glaring gateway just right there.
Yeah, I don't know how it's not been scouted. It feels like Creator has moved absolutely everywhere across the map to try and find everything, but I mean, there's still a proxy Dark Shrine and a proxy gateway. Just pretty close to his base here. And yeah, none the wiser is Creator here, of course. Zaun, let's take a look actually. That's third base versus the timing of Creator. It's around the same time here. Other than that, army supplies, Zaun just slightly ahead. It does come down to the concaves here. And there's only a single Immortal here with the army. Where's the other two Immortals? Is he dropping? He is dropping. Okay, that makes sense.
Ooh, that's a big pick off on that pylon. That's just gonna delay some of that production a lot for Zaun. And yeah, good move by Creator, although something's going on in Creator's main base as well. Big Archon drop, and as you know, Archons can absolutely shred through probes. Creator did a good pull, but that could have been really dicey here, and now he's got to keep those Stalkers in the main base in case that thing decides to come back.
Yeah, needs to be extremely careful here. He didn't lose a single probe there actually, so he was way more on the minimap ball than I was there. Anyway, the War Prism for Creator, where did it get picked off as well? Oh my
He
god,
got killed.
he got killed with the 2 immortals here. What is happening? Why am I missing all of this? I'm not used to missing everything. I'm gonna... Oh my god, alright, here we go. This is not something I'm
way
missing.
too much action.
Coming in with a lot of Zealots. The Archon's blocking them though. The Zealots need to get right on top of those Stalkers. Okay, that's a good fight there just now. And a massive army for Zaun as well. Look at the army supply here, Passer. That is quite a significant lead for Zaun. Can he just push this advantage right now and make it a victory here? He's going for it, blinking forward, grabbing that War Prism as well. Can he get the Immortal here? Targeting everything down. It looks like it might be it. I think this is going to be a victory for Zaun here, Passer. Oh my god, it might just be barely enough though with the shield batteries. Oh, Zaun has to move backwards. Jeez Louise, he didn't even kill any workers. Creator.
Well, Zaun has no upgrades. Oh my gosh, he doesn't even have +1 attack.
Oh,
so Creator's units just absolutely shredding the attack of Zaun, and he really wanted to finish the game out right there. He is so far behind at this point. It looks so good to start, but now we got +3 on the way, and I think Creator, now that he knows that there's no upgrades on the map, he is feeling super happy and just ready to finish this game out, honestly.
Yeah, that was a bit rough. Honestly, I really anticipated Zaun to just kind of walk over there. He had such a large number advantage, but yeah, as you said, those upgrades, they are pretty large, and I mean, finally this gateway does get scouted here. It looks like Zaun is gonna try to press his luck one more time. Army supply wise though, he's behind actually at this point. Trying to do another drop. Again, not getting any probes so far though. Okay, getting 1 probe.
I think that was one of the first probes that died all game for Creator.
Actually it was. Those were the first 2 probe kills for Creator. Or the first 2 probes that he lost.
Yeah, and you can see Zaun, he's panicking right now. The DTs, they didn't work. The Archons, they're not doing it. So he is going right back into the comeback mechanic of the Disruptors, where upgrades don't matter.
It's a really good call. It's a very smart one, and you know what? He needs to have these work. The War Prism is still stuck here. It looks like a Zealot. Okay, that's a Zealot. It's not a War Prism. This is not a War Prism either. I'm just trying to pay as much attention right now as possible. Everything floating around. Alright, full base for Zaun is going to be put down. It was right underneath that hallucination. No, wait, actually, was it? I think it was an hallucination here, right? It got destroyed as it saw that probe moving over there, though. So I think Creator might have an inkling.
Yeah, Creator doesn't actually know about that base.
He does not. No, okay, yeah, it just felt like he was moving over there for a moment, but. Okay, no, he is staying home. He's keeping his army safe. Those Archons are still here. And that's a precarious situation there for that War Prism.
Yeah, I think Creator has to know that his +3 attack is enough to kind of clean up this army. Creator actually has an inkling of where this army is. He wants to catch it, but being very cautious, as he does know that there are Disruptors with this, I bet.
Yeah, both of these players continuously just shooting around with those hallucinations. Oh, we might have a little bit of an engagement here. There goes the first couple of Zealots hitting each other. 2 Disruptor shots, killing off an Archon. Not the most massive of hit, but you know what? Still some value. Yeah,
that was just some good micro there with the War Prism. The Archon coming in once again, getting 1 or 2 more probes, forcing a defensive warp in at home. And behind all this, again, I just keep going back to the upgrades here. Disruptor count is nice, but Creator, he's not gonna really get hit by those too much unless he is absolutely not paying attention. He's also got that double Stargate coming down, so Phoenix added to the mix. I'm kind of hesitant to say how good that is because there's not really too much that they can hit.
I think it's for the Disruptors. I mean, if you lift up a Disruptor, the Disruptor shot gets cancelled. So it is a really good call here by Creator. A smart maneuver to try and counter the exact army forces that Zaun is using here. Alright, this is also a little bit awkward. Both players gonna lose those fourth bases here. Looks like that is gonna be it, but Creator a lot quicker with rotating forwards. He's gonna go straight for the production here of his opponents. That Colossus is not meant to be alive here.
Yeah, we are on
as well.
We are in full-on base trade mode, and unfortunately for Zaun, we have a big lead for Creator in that regard. He is everywhere at once, picking off these disruptors as they pop the photon cannons in the main base, doing what they can. But this is just an overwhelming tide of blue. Now, keep in mind, Zaun is supply blocked, as is Creator. Creator's supply block a little bit less important because I think he can just recall this if it gets too far in the main base, but the disruptors actually getting picked up at the very last second. That is a hard attack and a half for Creator.
Well, I guess Zaun does still have a couple of those structures out on the map, right? His army supply is a little bit higher here, especially because Creator has to deal with all these cannons. He's still losing quite a little bit, and there's no real defensive structure here for Creator. Creator, does he still have a probe anywhere on the map? I don't think he does. He has a War Prism. He might be able to evacuate some probe here. It looks like that is going to be his attempt. Perhaps he's sending that War Prism over. No recalls available for either of these players. Zaun as well, a little bit stuck here. But as well, I mean, it looks like Creator a little bit hesitant. He wants to start moving backwards here. And there's the first reveal. Yeah, Creator moving fully back right now, realizing he needs to come back home because he's losing everything he owns. All these structures, they're about to die here. Can Zaun kill off these structures before Creator gets back? I think he might. I think this might be it. Oh my god, Passa.
Oh,
Can
no.
Zaun win just by killing off all the structures? GG is called. Zaun has done it. What a game.
That was insane. Unfortunately, that Warp Prism not able to get back and to hide a couple probes outside the map. That was just going so well for Creator. He had all the advantages.
Yeah, but I mean, Zaun is still, I mean, even if Creator stayed in that base, killed off all those structures, he still wouldn't have won. There were still two, like, proxy stuff around the map for Zaun on both edges of the map, and it would take quite a while to get to there. And yeah, Zaun, absolutely amazing stuff. Lovely game there by him. Well played. Congratulations. He's moving on to the finals, and all the Alpha X people rejoice. That was a great series, honestly. That PvP, I mean, sometimes PvP can be a little bit dull, but that was anything but dull. That was absolutely amazing. Very well played. A massive back and forth between those two, and Zaun, very, very, you know what, very well played. That's all I can say. Lovely stuff.
Oh yeah, just a great start to this playoffs for today. And now we have to find out who he is facing, if he's going to have to take down a Zerg or a Terran player. Which one do you think is going to be a little bit better for his style?
I'm not that sure. I really am not all that sure. Let me just first of all grab the. I'm gonna have to do the veto things. I don't know Zaun well enough to really make a good call about that. Sue is a. All right. Alright, here we go. The vetoing has been picked off. Yeah. So like I said, I mean, which matchups have we seen from Zaun? He's played. Who did he play against? He played against.
He played against sort of Dream and True.
Sort of Dream and Sue. I mean, he lost against Sue, right? So.
Or hang on, I have to go to the page here. It looks like Zaun actually was 2-0. So I guess he beat either Dream or True or sort of. So he's played both of them, I reckon.
Yeah, I think because Sue was the first to advance, right? He was the first to. Honestly, I think he's had in the previous matches he's been doing better against Dream. All right, so we've got our games here. Let's take a look. Zen will be the first one. I'm gonna be in charge again of creating these maps. All right, so that's very interesting. Zen has the first map here. That is. Not one you see every day.
Yeah, and I actually did get confirmation from Sushi that Zound's
Sushi.
PVT is actually better.
Yeah.
Sushi.
So, I mean, it's like, yes, we do have Sue, of course, here right now. Anyway, okay. He's not a Sue fan. Well, he might be actually. I'm not completely sure, but
Yeah, I think these guys are ready.
Alright guys, remember there is a, if you want to have these replays, go check them out on the Matcherino page. Also, I want to do a shout out quickly in between the game before it starts. We have a sponsor called G Fuel, and G Fuel is the official drink of esports. Since 2004, they've been providing all sorts of gamers and gamer-like people with lovely G Fuel fuel, I guess you could call it. It's a liquid, you can drink it, it gives you focus, energy, and endurance. And they've got a lovely new flavor, vanilla French coffee flavor, an epic fusion of everything caffeine. And you know what? If you have the if you have the time, go check them out as well on the Matcherino page and do some quests for them. Check them out, guys. They are a lovely sponsor. We would not be here without them. So thank you very much to G Fuel. All right, that out of the way.
Yeah, we get right into it.
Right. We have a blue Terran. He is from Bravestar Gaming. To double check that for a moment, but he is Dream.
And he's looking for a dream against this guy in the bottom. He's red. He's mean. He's Africa TV's star player, Sue.
Get that spawning pool in the shot as well. Get all those lovely Zerg shenanigans in there. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is going to be scary for Dream to deal with here because we saw yesterday Dynamite really struggle with this as well. He's with that Roach Rush is so powerful, especially since a lot of the times in TVZ your choice of unit is the Hellion to start things off, and you know it's kind of like a tickle. It's a tickle cannon. You know, it's a nice day at the spa when you're in the sauna, essentially for those Orochas.
It really is, yeah. I'm not 100% sure yet if it is going to be the... Yeah, well, okay, yeah. That answers my question. Yeah, alright. It's the Roach Warren. Once again, you're right.
It's less common to see the Lings in ZV or ZVT, because you usually see it in ZVZ where you get the 6 Lings to cancel the natural, but it just doesn't really work because you already have a wall off as a Terran.
Yeah.
So this Reaper, not going to see this doing a very good job of just hiding these lag.
Well, it is... I have seen it before, actually. Just not going for the Roach Warren. It's just like, with the Lings, this is something Matisse told me. He's a coach. He's a great coach. Go check him out. But he told me that this kind of forces the Reaper to stay home. And you might be able to get a delay on that command center as well, of course. Also, if you are being proxied, right, you already have those links. So there's no problem whatsoever to kind of hold that off. It's a slight, how do you call it, investment. But it can get a lot of work done.
Yeah, I do like how he is kind of shooing away this Overlord as well. That's kind of the linchpin of this push, essentially, because that will allow you to attack that wall up in the top. Also, it's not Creator, it's Dream. The tag's still on.
All right, yeah. Good call, good call.
But yeah, this is still pretty scary, but I do like what Dream is doing. He's going straight up into that Cyclone. It has a big range advantage, and he might be, and more than likely he'll be getting a Banshee behind this, but defending the low ground seems to be his priority.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. You know what? Dream just went straight for that bunker here. The Biles are doing quite a bit of damage, though. It's ramping up. And on the way is a siege tank on that high ground. Should be able to quite handedly then get rid of these roaches and ravagers, I'd say.
Yeah, he just has to be careful here because he is taking a lot of damage on his natural. He's going to have to repair that, but all that repairing is going to cost him minerals. But now that he has this siege tank, there's actually only 2 Ravagers, so he will never kill that off in one shot. So the SCVs can really just repair that for days. And behind this, instead of going for that Banshee, he's going to lose a Cyclone and get a medevac to just drop across the map, hoping that Sue doesn't have much at home.
Sue is remaking quite a couple of those roaches though. He's grabbing himself speed now as well, but yeah, those siege things might be pretty darn good if they get into a good position. That could be a lot of trouble for Sue here, especially now that he loses these 2 Ravagers as well. Let's take a look at the unit loss tab overall. Yeah, that looks a little bit favored for Dream here. It's very unfortunate that he lost that Cyclone and the Reaper there. Definitely could help out with these situations. The Reaper nade on its own, I mean, I think it's a great tool.
I really love it. I love this position though for siege tanks. It actually looks like he's just gonna siege up right on the creep as well, going straight for the queens. Got to be careful not to lose the medevac. That's your only retreat right now. So a little bit bungled, as remember that there is those minerals right there. So that's a really nice tank position. But he just went way too far forward, unfortunately. Might just get an Overlord as a consolation here.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if you... yeah, the siege tank there. You could make a case that perhaps just not sieging it would be a good call as well. As you do, you know, you've already spotted Sue does have those roaches. He's making Ravagers, so you know what? Just leaving the siege tank open to be microed might be more valuable in that situation.
Yeah, most definitely, especially since it was only targeting down the queens instead of the roaches. But once again, Sue, he has a massive army supply lead right now, and he's going to be looking to close it out once again. There's no drones in the production tab, so the third base is pretty much just for larva. This is going to be scary for Dream. He's actually not making any more siege tanks. Oh no.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough one, honestly. I don't think Dream was really expecting this much aggression out of Sue right afterwards, and it might be a very quick first game here that doesn't even get to reach 7 minutes. Unless if Dream just kind of somehow miraculously holds here, but 22 workers have gone down. That's too many workers.
Yeah, meals are good, but they're not super comeback when you're 25 workers behind good. So yeah, and I mean he's just getting whittled down here. Is Dream? He's gonna abandon the natural position here, but that's most of his production actually gone as well. So yeah, he's in a bit of a pickle here.
Definitely, for sure. He does save that command center, and he's on the high ground now. He has the siege tank there with the wall. Makes it a lot safer against those Ravagers, but I mean, this is such an incredible amount of damage that Sue has managed to do onto his opponents. He's just simply getting 2 Evo chambers now. He's getting a layer attack. He's like, alright, yeah, you can stay on one base. That's fine with me. I'm just gonna do my own thing across the map, and yeah, know that I'm just massively ahead right now.
Yeah, double the army supply. Dream really does need to get something done. Maybe like a 1 medevac drop. Just do anything to kind of pull Sue back. But this is going to be one heck of a comeback here if he's able to do it. I don't want to count him out because Dream is a very fantastic player in his own right, and I think he can do it. It's just going to be a complete uphill climb because Sue is not your typical opponent. He is like your opponent times 5.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing to note, perhaps, is look at the Overlord spread. It really showcases how good Sue is, right? I mean, he sees absolutely everything. He has links on the left side of the map as well. But still, somehow, someway, this drop does manage to get inside. But a quick pull away from Sue here. Doesn't even lose the queen. Okay, might lose the queen. There we go. For the price of 2 Marines. So that's not too shabby, but a lot more is needed here to really make something happen. Can it be done, though, with these tanks? Again, once more, Dream just putting them brazenly right on top of the creep here. Doesn't care too much.
This is I don't want to say an overextension just yet because Sue is not pouncing on it. He's really busy focusing on this attack in the main base. Now, keep in mind that these are +1 units, and Sue's +1 has not completed just yet. But Dream's kind of in an all-in position right now. Even with the 3 bases, only 2 are mining, and yeah, Sue is just going to be able to pounce on this immediately. There is not much you can do here as Dream except get out of dodge.
Yeah, that is just some incredible Sue dominance now. And those links, look at how quickly he sends them across the map here, trying to pick off any sort of reinforcements that might still be coming in. Grabbing himself a couple of Marines, grabbing a siege tank too. The Marines here do have a pretty solid position. Need to target down the Banelings though. We're not seeing the targeting, and we're not seeing the Marines dodging the piles either. That is more army going into the trading of the Zerg. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm feeling a GG coming up pretty soon here, honestly. But Dream is sticking into this right now. He doesn't want to give up that easily, it seems. Maybe he will as soon as those mutas hit his mineral line.
I'm gonna call it the second he sees those Mutalisks.
Alright.
And okay, never mind.
Maybe he did do his scan. Perhaps he saw Mutalisk there, so who knows. Maybe you're still right. Yeah, so good game there by Dream and Sue. More so, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, really good start. Really good start right there. Dream is gonna have to do something to come back into the series. But,
Yeah.
you know, it's going to be tough on this map, especially Simulacron.
I mean, he did choose this one. I guess, no, wait, Sue chose this one, didn't he? Yeah, alright, so this is Sue's map. Both players only got to have one veto, actually, so...
Yeah, World of Sleepers was actually the veto for Dream, as, if I recall,
yeah.
nobody would ever... in their right mind play against a Zerg on World of Sleepers, but Simulacron I think is a close second in that regard because of how large the map is.
Yeah, although we have been seeing players pick it more and more recently, to be fair, but I'm not completely sure. Like you said, yeah, it is such a massive map. There's so much creep spread. It is so difficult for you know, players that are playing against Zerg to kind of protect all their bases, cover all their grounds from links, run-bys, and everything of that sort, because, you know what, everything is just so spread out. Anyway, game number 2. Let me set the scores and bring you guys in here. In the bottom right side of the map, we have a red Zerg playing for Freaka Freaks. He is probably the favorite to win everything here. Can he just get a clean sweep once more? He is Sue. No spawning pool this time. Alright.
And his opponent in the top, probably pretty happy that there isn't a spawning pool there first. It is Dream. You know, even if he loses to Sue here, he still wins in having an awesome clan tag.
Yeah, it is pretty cool, isn't it? The bear, the eagle, and the cat, the feline creature. Yeah, it is pretty darn cool. I mean, Freaka Freaks have pretty cool clan tag too, to be fair, but Sue not rocking it right now. Not sure what that's about. He is in the group, but like, I guess they don't have it ready.
Well, he probably just has it hidden. I think if you see the Freaka Freaks thing and you're playing him on ladder, then you're gonna start to do something crazy because you know that you can't beat him.
Well, it says Sue as well, though. To be fair.
Yeah, but you know, you can make your clan tag. You can make not your clan tag, but you can make your name anything. So there's like maybe 20 Sues on ladder.
Yeah, I guess maybe, but yeah, you know, all right. Who knows? Who knows? I know. Yeah, there's a lot of people who would call themselves Sue. That's true. That's true. He is gonna go for the hatch first here. Simple Reaper expand coming out of Dream is gonna grab himself a Marine afterwards to try and thwart away any Overlords coming in for a scout. Also want them to get the free scout here, of course, and a factory right besides the barracks, so most likely gonna be those Hellions as a follow-up here.
Fast third base as well for Sue, which is really just because this map is so large, it's easier to get. Reaper gonna be coming in here to do some damage, but we'll get actually almost surrounded. That was very dicey. He almost got stuck on the refinery, which would have been a nightmare for Dream. But yeah, now he's not actually going to be able to take care of the first creep tumor, so the Terran is just going to have to back up here for right now.
Yeah, he still tried to go in for it, but didn't find an opportunity. Because of that, surround a little bit, losing too much HP and not really managing to get too much done anymore.
Yeah, so now he's just going to dance around a little bit, make sure that Sue is honest in this game, which, I mean, Sue is pretty much honest in this game. Super macro mode, engaged almost.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you would hope Sue to be doing here, actually. Would you just kind of hope that he would try to all-in you and you can just try to prep for an all-in? Or would you rather have him just play his regular standard macro play? I mean, both are kind of scary, but... I mean, maybe one of them is a little bit more scary than the other one. But Dream is going to go for the fusion core here. Battlecruiser operational pretty soon.
Yeah, so we should be seeing probably more than likely battle mech out of Dream here, just because the battlecruiser is a very good way to kind of just bring himself into that situation.
Yeah, for sure.
It's powerful, but again, there's a lot of open space on this map, so it's really easy to accidentally get surrounded, especially if Sue decides to go for infestors early on. But we will have to see where he is going to go with this. He is still pumping out the Hellions, so it just kind of depends on if he's going to make siege tanks or cyclones next.
Yeah, I mean, wants to keep these Hellions alive as well. Might be able to pick off a creep tumor there. There we go, alright. Not too
Small
shabby.
figures.
Yep. For sure. I mean, it's gonna decrease the vision of Sue, right? It's gonna help just kind of get those Hellions out of dodge quicker. And
we're gonna see a Hellbat timing as well here, as the armory is coming down very early.
Alright. It's probably gonna mean that the battlecruiser is just gonna join forces with the Hellbats here, and there's gonna be a big frontal push. The thing for Sue right now, he's not been scouting at all whatsoever. Like, he has an overlord at the front door, but I mean, he sees that there's no third base in the wall here, so perhaps that is his sign that there's maybe something coming in. But then again, I mean, he's not building a whole lot of defenses here. He's got how many queens? 7 queens. That's an alright amount, but oh my dear lord, I'm not sure if you are ready for this one. Sue coming in with a battlecruiser is Dream here, jumping right on top of all those queens. They're all low energy, so not that much transfuse available, targeting them down very quickly here. Oh, the Hellbats as well, getting rather close to those drones. Still want to barbecue the queens first, though.
He needs to be careful, though, because as he's kind of chasing these queens around, he's buying a lot of time for Banelings and Zerglings 2 more. If he gets a lot of those queens, a few of those drones actually go down as well. So really good start for Dream here. He's just really throwing Sue off of his game. The drone's actually coming in a little bit too early as well. The battlecruiser is now pretty much uncontested here. Only one queen left in that one position.
I mean, I absolutely love the way he positioned that battlecruiser. As soon as he realized, okay, you do have Baneling tech, I'm going to put my battlecruiser below here. So anytime Banelings are about to come in, I'm going to be able to target most of them down with my battlecruiser anyway. And that has been helping out quite a lot. And GG has to be called. A quick tied-up series here. Dream's like, you know what? You want to be aggressive against me? Fine! I'll show you, Mr. Sue.
That was pretty much a you can't fire me, I quit situation there.
Yeah.
But yeah, great, just a great play on that map. Really making sure that you couldn't get into that situation where Zerg mid game and late game can really overthrow you on that map. So just a good build order overall in general by Dream. and these guys are excited for this next one.
Another thing to maybe note is that the first map was, of course, Dream's map pick. The second map was Sue's map pick. I mean, on Sue's map pick, Dream starts to do a cheese. On, on Dream's map pick, wait, yeah, so whenever they're playing on their opponent's map pick, they're doing a cheese. They're like, you know what, I don't like this map. You chose it, but we're not going to be around on this map for very long. And yeah, maybe perhaps that's going to be an indicator that now, again, on Dream's map pick here, we're going to be having a spawning pool first, but well, let's wait and see what's going to happen here in the top right side of the map. A blue Terran with a tied up series now back to a best of 3 right now. Is Bravestar Gaming's Dream.
As opponent, looking to keep his streak of awesomeness going, is Africa Freaks Sue.
No spawning pool to be seen anywhere. Alright, so he's going to go for the macro game.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a one and done thing, honestly, with that, because essentially after you do it once, then your opponent's really going to be looking for it. And as I say that, never mind, it is going to be spawning pool first.
Yeah.
Although I don't think this time it's going to be roaches as well. We will have to see if he does decide to do that. I just think that doing it twice in a series isn't really the best. Although it is Sue we're talking about.
Yeah, you might just be doing that thing with the circlings, trying to get the cancel on the CC on the low ground, try and get the Reaper to stay on the other side of the map to kind of deny any scouting information and keep his drone line secure, of course. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. That spawning pool is about to finish up. Is he going to move a drone into position here? Not yet. Not just yet. Is he going to grab the drones off of the gas here after getting 100 gas? Yeah. Well, at least one of them.
Yeah, so this is pretty much a more defensive style here. We could see him actually do a Ling Flood, maybe include some Banelings as well, since he is still essentially mining that gas. So I'm a bit worried if Dream doesn't see this. If he does see this, though, he's gonna be perfectly fine, because Hellions just do a lot versus Ling-based compositions early on.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like those two Lings did manage to wiggle their way around past the Reaper. So the Reaper sees the timing of that hatchery, realizes, oh, I need to get home. Most like the Zerglings about to be knocking on my front door, and there they are already. So that Reaper trying to scurry home as quickly as possible, but the SCV already in a bit of trouble here. Oh, the Marine does come out in time. The Hero Marine.
Yeah. Pulls a couple of his SCVs as well, just to make sure that he is completely safe here. But he sees that there's no roaches on the way, so he's just going to continue with his game plan right now, which is to get that star part up nice and early. Although he does want to make a friend for his Hellion. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not sure whether there's more circlings on the way either yet. So he is, of course, going to be putting out that bunker. And Subine is just going to casually grab himself a third base. After keeping that Reaper on the other side of the map, not really taking any damage whatsoever. Having a solid drone count as well here is Sue. Reaper in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah. But once again, hey, look at that. It's going to be Fusion Core.
Alright, I mean, this is a pretty good map for the battlecruisers. It's not Zen, of course, but it's still pretty darn solid. Now, do you think he's going to go for the Hellbats again? He's kind of stopped the production of Hellions here. He does have around the amount of money that I'm expecting to see a command center. No, actually, he's just... Okay, yeah, there it is, actually. Third base.
I think this is just a fake stim pack for the Overlord. And yeah, there we go. It's just... Suit now thinks he's seen enough, although he doesn't see the Fusion Core. So, this is just a nice little mind. Look at that. Oh my gosh, Dream. What did he actually just do there? He pulled all his workers. Holy cow! Small mistakes. Now I don't know Korean, but I do know that that is Sue laughing right there.
Yeah. He's like, silly SCVs, silly humans. Alright,
Yeah,
anyway.
so just small mistakes, but yeah, once again we're going to see that it is that battle cruiser. No armory though, which is the big thing. Sue not taking any chances though. He's gonna go for those roaches, and just gonna be safe against any kind of Hellbat timing.
Yeah,
If that is what Dream decides to do.
definitely will. And actually, a Hellion getting caught out of position here. Immediately, those other Hellions still sticking around, potentially gonna get surrounded too.
Hey, look
Spore
at
crawlers
that.
on the way now as well. The Overlord's coming in once again, trying to triple check everything here. Sees, okay, you still have this base. You're still making what is looking like to be a battle cruiser because you don't have anything really in creating in that tech lab there. And there it is. Okay, first battle cruiser coming in. Can it do damage here still? There's 4 queens. There's a spore crawler. He needs to move his butt over to another base. That's what he's doing exactly right now, going into the main base here. But there's only one single queen, a single spore crawler. So Sue has to maneuver his other queens back over here. That's only 3 queens.
Tried to get in.
Yeah.
The Hellions tried to get in during all of that, but oh my gosh! Now that the queens can go towards the what do you call it? The main base, I think those Hellions are gonna look to go towards the third. Although he's got to be careful not to get hit by those roaches.
Yeah, the Roach is doing a wonderful job zoning out those Hellions so far, but maybe the Hellions have found a little bit of an opportunity. There's a lot of queens here. Are they going to jump on top of the mineral line? No, there's just a little bit too many lings ready to block that from happening. Wouldn't have gotten great shots off and realizing it very quickly, moving back around again. But the battle cruiser is still making
loving
work.
this rotation.
Yeah.
Like, he's just doing a really good job of making sure that you will not have enough queens in those positions. And he does actually have the recall for the battle cruiser, so now he can just get out of there, because I think that battle cruiser not going to last too long if you keep trying to push your luck.
Yeah, exactly. A lovely pick off on that gas as well. Oh, the Hellions do manage to get in here. How many work kills is it though? It's not that many. I'm not sure if that was worth it.
Yeah, a bit aggressive on that dive. But now we do see that Spire is complete. The Corruptors are about halfway out, so the Battlecruiser not going to have too much value anymore, even though he is going for Yamato, and I'm a little bit worried about that, only because he only has this one Battlecruiser. And I'm lying, there's 2 Battlecruisers.
Yeah, he stopped production though, so that is true. Sue though, he is getting +1 air weapons even for this. He's grabbing even more Corruptors. So he is assuming that Dream is going to be investing a lot more into these battle cruisers. But Sue behind this as well, making a lot of siege tanks mostly, getting himself the double armories. And the Cyclone upgrade just transitioning into a pretty hefty ground-based mech style. Although, doesn't have that much against these Corruptors just yet. Battlecruiser, okay, manages to stop that corrosive bile from doing something here. The repair on the Battlecruiser, is it going to be enough in time? Oh my god, that is a clutch repair. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, that is so low HP.
Good Yamatos as well. That was just incredible for a Dream. That is the... Like, you don't see that. Battlecruisers just absolutely melt to that amount of Corruptors.
Yeah.
So seeing that one survive is awesome for Dream.
That never happens in my games.
He's got to be patting himself on the back for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was so close. Like the Battlecruiser every single time, with just one hit away. If there was one more Corruptor within that mix, that would have not worked whatsoever. Or if that repair was like half a second slower, that would not have happened either. So yeah, Sue is just adding in more Corruptors, and I love this as well. He's being very aggressive with his expanding. He realizes that Dream will not be able to do too much across the map here with his army composition. Those siege tanks aren't going to be able to push across the map here that very quickly without being at max supply here. The Battlecruisers might be able to get some work done, but as long as you have your Corruptors, you should be absolutely fine. Tactical jump making its way back to the home base.
Yeah. Now, essentially, Dream. He's gonna poke out a little bit, just to make sure that creep doesn't go too far forward, because one of the big weaknesses of Battle Mech here with the Cyclones, with the Hellions, is fighting on creep, as you will just get surrounded and you will get picked off really easily here. Asu is gonna be doing a job of just keeping him back in order to prevent that, because if he can get that creep spread pretty much up to the 4th base and 5th bases, then he's just gonna love himself right now, even going up to that hive tech and the greater spire behind it. So those brood lords going to do absolute work on this if you're not careful.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. There it is, the greatest spire. With you now. But we do see Dream already transitioning into the Thors here. That is a good call against the greater spire attack. Like to see this. And he's cleaning up a lot of creep here, like you said. It's important to stay on top of that. You know what? It's a dirty job, but somebody has to do it.
Yeah, but yeah, there we go. Like, we kind of see that once he gets off the creep, it's a little bit easier to escape here.
Yeah.
He did lose a few units there, but honestly, at this point, you want to be kind of trading them out a little bit so that you can make room for those big, expensive, heavy Thors. And these Hellions actually worth their weight in gold right now as he trades them out, getting a lot of workers here. Just now getting Infernal Pre-Igniters as well. So just really good moves out of Dream, keeping Su's economy in check, although even with all those losses, he's still at 79 workers, and even making one more to be at a straight 80.
Yeah, it's still a solid count indeed, and with the amount of bases that he has as well, happily mining a lot of gas, and you know, if you can see the bank for Su is now gonna be growing quite rapidly here. The army supply for Dream, he doesn't have that much supply left to really invest in. He only has 2 Thors right now to try and deal with these 9 Broodlords that are out. So I'm a little bit worried about that. I guess he still has the battle cruisers as well, but that's only 2 and only 4 Cyclones here. So he really doesn't have the kind of army that he needs to move those Broodlords away from his front line as much as he would like to. The Thor isn't even in the heavy payload mode just yet, I believe. Is it?
No, he is not at this time.
So confused. It's gonna be a rough one. Honestly, a little bit overproducing perhaps on those SCVs. I think he definitely wants to consider losing a couple of those SCVs. Making
Honestly,
more orbitals for the mules and getting himself more Thors out here. He does have 4 right now. Okay, 5 Thors in the production. That's what he needs.
Yeah, honestly, he had to abandon that position. Otherwise, he was going to be too far behind. Siegetank's doing good work on the ground here versus those roaches. Actually bleeding out a lot there is Su, but he has just enough to take out all the Thors. And while he can't go towards that planetary, he can certainly continue to pressure this position and just really make it very hard for Dream to continue on in this game.
Yeah, Dream in a very tough nut to crack right now. It is not looking all that good. He has 4 Thors now marching in on the right side flank here, but I mean, it feels like those roaches and the Broodlords should be able to take care of it. At least they should be able to fight against the planet. He's a little bit split right now with his decision making. The Roach is still fighting against the planetary. The Broodlords try to keep those Thors at bay. And you know what, that does mean that Su does lose his army, but he does also kill off the planetary fortress here. Now, as a response to the switch in army composition for Dream, Su looks like he is going to be adding in just a whole lot of roaches. He definitely dealt a lot of damage there, killing off 2 bases in total, putting Dream back on 3. As Su is on 6 base right now. 6 base versus 3. That is a horrible position right now for our Terran player, who only has a single siege tank against like a gazillion roaches that are going to be knocking on his front door pretty darn soon here.
Not only that, but Su just has this incredible bank. he spent a lot of it to get to remax his army like this, but he still has so much money.
Yeah.
And you know, Thors, they're really good versus those Broodlords, versus Lings and Ravagers and such. Not as much, surprisingly. Although, with the amount of Thors that he has, he can actually just shred through a lot of this. And Sue will have to back off once again. But just looking at the supply, it's currently a 30 supply deficit. And it's just going to be really hard for Dream to get back into this.
Yeah, I think that was just a really good trade for Sue again. If we look at the unit loss tab, I mean, that's not what you want to see happen here. If you are on less bases than your opponents and you have the more cost-efficient army, as, you know, Terran Mech is supposed to be, and you have a higher loss count in minerals and in gas, that's a big oof. That is, you know what, a really bad sign right now, and I'm gonna be surprised if Sue loses this one, or lets this game escape his clutches, because he's just gonna keep ramming his forces into the Terran here, and yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea.
He really just needs to get on top of that production. Once that's dead, then you have nothing to worry about. But once again, his bank is just incredible. He's got that 7th base up and running. +3 attack as well, completing for both different types of ground units. I mean, he's just happy to be alive right now.
Yeah, I don't think you can ask for much more, honestly. He has a solid, healthy tank count, but with the mobility of those Ravagers and Roaches, it looks like Sue is just making it very difficult for Dream to have a setup where he is able to protect all of his flanks. And yeah, Sue's just making use of that. I guess not completely right now, but if he does go in here, yeah, there we go. Okay, now he's making use of that.
Yeah, he's just gonna rotate around here, try and pull some tanks out of position. That tank count is actually pretty high, so we do see Sue going back into the Broodlords, trying to get some splash damage done on those doors, which would honestly be hilarious if the siege tanks killed all the Thors by themselves. But yeah, like overall, Sue's maxed out, and he's just keeping the fight going.
Yeah, Dream is at a low amount of SCVs here, so I mean, if he does manage to hold on, if he does just manage to keep on making his army units at this position, he should be in a good spot, right? He's gonna have a very, very tough army that has about 30 extra supply in his army supply. But I mean, if we look at the army composition of Sue right now, it is tied up, and he has so many Broodlords. He has the Infestors. He's gonna be coming in here. To be fair, the army of Dream, I don't think it has looked this scary though, up until what he has right now, at this moment in time.
Yes, he's starting to wail away on those Broodlords, but the transfuses that creep right up to the 5th base, and he's got the Infestors in the back. They're hidden, but they're not really hidden, because the scan does reveal everything that Sue has right now.
Yeah.
Did he? No, he does not have neural parasites, so he can't take control of the Thors, but he can just kind of start to whittle down Dream here a little bit, because the Thors, they won't last forever. Yeah, he's gonna use the high. Looks like he's gonna use the high ground position a little bit more in order to help himself out.
Yeah, you need to. It's a weird. It's a kind of army clash, isn't it? Right? Because you need the siege tanks to be sieged against the Infestors, so they don't get to neural you. But you also, like, you want to kind of unsiege them as soon as those Brootlings come in.
A lot of focus fire.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it comes down to. And the Vikings actually getting some good damage done as well. Those Infestors full on energy. Honestly, I would like to see some Vipers here. I think Vipers are a little bit of a better choice than those Infestors, just because you can get that blinding cloud on those sieged up tanks, on the Thors, force them to come forward. And Yeah, I mean, Sue, I trust his decision making. I just don't like his composition.
He has so much map control right now, though. The amount of bases he has is absolutely ridiculous. It is quite something. But then again, I mean, the power of Dream right now is in the defense. And if Sue just continuously tries to break the defense unsuccessfully, then that is going to be a big deal. And might be an opportunity for Dream to still make a comeback happen here. His army supply now at 137. He's getting closer and closer to being maxed out with only 56 workers here. So his army, once again, it's looking more scary than it has been looking since the entire start of this game. And this is going to be the moment in time where he is going to actually start finally moving his advantage to the other side of the map here. Are we going to see Sue actually trying to commit here to a fight, or is he going to go for some sort of a base trade scenario? I'm not sure what would be the most beneficial thing for him right now, but I'm not completely sure he can take this fight.
Well, whatever he's gonna do, he's gonna have to do it soon. Losing his bases is never gonna be ideal, and this is just starting to kind of spiral into Dream's favor. And yeah. Dream just able to do this slow, methodical push essentially. Although he has to be careful because Sue could remax at any time with that 10k that he's just saving up for a rainy day.
Yeah, that is true. He can just throw his entire army into the meat grinder here and then just be perfectly fine recreating the entirety. But needs to be careful not to do it without taking too many wins himself. Okay, we saw some Neurals. This is a very weird engagement from Sue actually. Trying to run down a ramp here with all his Ravagers and the Roaches here. I guess he's trading alright. But
like he didn't actually bile either. Yeah, he's just gonna remax as much as possible here on the Ling Roach, but will he have the time essentially to do so?
he killed off a reasonable chunk of the mech army, so now there's only Thors really remaining, right? Which is kind of a big deal. So we are seeing a lot of links now on the production tab, which is gonna help out a lot if he does manage to grab these Thors. He's making a lot of Banelinks again as well, which is very interesting to see against the army composition of Dream. You have any idea why he's still making this many Banelinks? Is it just to try to run them into Thors?
I mean, when you have this kind of money, it's pretty much a get out of jail free card for Sue. But he is gonna try and take out this base.
Yeah.
Yeah, here comes the swarm.
Maybe it is just to try and take out bases here indeed, or at least the mineral lines. Okay, yeah, I think that is a really good trade once again for Sue, managing to keep Dream on his low eco here.
Yeah, and essentially now he's just gonna get those pickoffs and come on back. Still though, that production, you need to get on top of it here. Otherwise, Sue, you're gonna spoil your bank. Just gonna get rid of all that money.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's looking like one of those people that just inherited a whole lot of money from their parents, and now, you know, he can spend it however the hell he likes. It's nothing really, it's not a lot of stuff he can do wrong at the moment. I like that, again, he put another link underneath there, delaying that expansion once again. And, yeah, Dream is hurting right now, dude. He's not having a good time. He's kind of, struggling to get himself back up to 200 supply. But, yeah, he's gonna just have to be defensive again for a while. Oh, finding these infestors, though, as they're trying to run past a missile turret. But there's a big clump of roaches coming in again on this planetary fortress. Only Thors right here. The siege tank's a little bit out of position there on the bottom, not really helping out the situation here. And once again, Sue taking a very solid trade, killing off the base, killing off a large majority of those Thors. And well, okay, no, he doesn't kill the base, but I mean, it's not a planetary just yet.
Once you get the Thors though, like that's the big time when you can actually just transition back into Broodlords, because Liberator tank is not a good is not a good composition versus that. And look at that, actually a big Ling run by, just gonna hop on in to the exposed natural, pick off the reinforcing siege tanks as well. So I think this is gonna be the kind of last huzzah here as Dream, because he doesn't really have the money, nor does he have the units that he needs to like fight against the Broodlords. These are just GG Lords.
Yeah, for sure. Brilliant maneuver there from Su. Getting himself right on top of the reinforcing line, and now he's going to be moving in with those Broodlords. And that is, yeah, like you said, the GG Lords, they're coming in right here. They're coming in hot. And I love to see that Su actually manages to take on the mech army. We've been hearing a lot about Zerg's kind of struggling against the mech. And apparently, what I've heard, or what I've understood, is that Swarm Host seems to be the answer against those sieged up mech armies. But Su doesn't even need those at this time. He can just continue to use the Broodlords, even against an army that has such a massive amounts of Thors.
Indeed. Now that does bring Su up to match point. So now we got to see if he can actually just close it out and head on into the finals. Remember, we heard earlier on that Zaun is more wanting to play versus a Terran. I'm guessing he's going to be super scared of Su winning this game. But this is going to be good.
Yeah, another game between these two guys. I'm kind of worried of Full Dream here. It seems like every time they go a little bit further into the macro game, Su just has his number. And yeah, it kind of shows that Su is just a dominant force here right now for the tournament. Dream is a very tough opponent as well, but not really at Su's level. He's never really been at that level, I feel like. A level of overall grandeur and renown that Su managed to get himself towards, just by being a very, very solid player over the ages. Anyway, once again, he did take a map. Can he do it 2 more times in a row? The blue Terran in the bottom right. He is Brave Star Gaming's A Dream.
And his opponent in the top, sporting the red Zerg player, he is Su.
Alright, going once again for that quick hatchery here. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, because that's kind of the thing, you know? You have the cushion now. You have, like, if you lose one game, it's not going to be the end of the world because you could always come back in game number 5. Dream, however, has all the pressure mounted on him right now if he wants to continue in this series. So overall, all the cards are really in Su's favor right now, series-wise. Triton.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't seen these two fight on this map yet, so you know, anything can really happen on it.
I hear that overall Terrans and Protoss don't really like to play against Zerg on this one because there is such a big distance between the 3rd and the 4th base in a way, so it is very easy for the Zerg to kind of rotate around. There's a lot of ways to rotate around as well, to just get on top of those bases rather quickly too. So it is one of those maps that feels a little bit Zerg favored here. Which is not good for Dream.
Well, funnily enough, Terran actually has a 55% win rate on this map.
Really? Alright, alright.
Yeah, so just a slight advantage in that regard, but you are right that the very far off 3rd bases make it such a hassle to essentially defend as Terran or Protoss. But overall, this can be a little bit of an advantage, the fact that there is a lot of distance between the two naturals, because it does give you this kind of little safety net to get up that natural base pretty quickly. Although the Reaper losing some health here, so he's not going to be able to dive on that creep tumor. That's a bit unfortunate, as you always like to get that creep tumor first. since the queen does not regenerate that energy if that gets cancelled.
Yeah, stop it early from going too crazy. It accumulates a lot of creep, it spreads a lot quicker if that first creep tumor, of course, stays alive. And Su has been very good at just keeping it alive as well.
Yeah, Su's creep spread has been incredible. Like, we saw him use it to great effect at that 4th base, or the 5th base rather, in that last game, where he was just able to get it right outside his opponent's, right outside of his opponent, and it's just so scary to deal with because that creep is free vision essentially. Now Dream, he is switching it up a little bit. He's going for a Banshee. So if that Overlord does come in here, he will see that it is indeed something different, and it looks like this will get scouted very slowly as those Overlords, you know, they're like old men. They really like to take their time. Just a nice casual stroll through enemy territory. Memory lane for these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not too worried about anything. I mean, they might get Su angry at them, but they don't really care anymore. It's not like, you know, they're far away from retirement. And yeah, he sees absolutely everything. It's no problem whatsoever. This Overlord's getting a good glimpse at what is happening, and Su is going to be able to prepare rather handedly for this one. He's putting down a Roach Warren again. We're not seeing Spore Crawlers just yet. The lay attack not that close to finishing up either yet, but is this still in time? Are these Spore Crawlers still in time?
Yeah, I mean, they might not be completely in time, but with the lair coming up as well, and the Roach Warren, I don't think the Banshee will get too much done here. We'll have to see. Already one worker going down. He will be able to get the transferring workers as well as pick off part of the Queen's health. But yeah, you can see he's being very cautious with it, not really diving on those mineral lines, kind of just focusing on these Hellions a bit more as well.
There's a lot of Hellions actually. How many is this? 10 Hellions right now. 2 Banshees on the map as well. Is he gonna try to just do a push with these Hellions and the Banshees at the front door? That'd be interesting. Yeah, there's the Hellbat transition. Okay, well, let's see what he can make happen here. 1 Banshee already being picked off, though. That is quite a big blow. Those Banshees do a lot of damage, and you would love to have them against those Queens to help out. The second one being targeted down as well. The Hellbats trying their best to get something to work here. But, well, on the 3rd base, they are being able to get on top of those drones, killing off 5 of them, but he needs to do more damage here. He has to find something, and doesn't really get too much done here. He does have a 3rd base ready though for Dream as well here, but the overall worker count, that's not looking all too good.
This was such a heavy commitment out of Dream for not that much gain, but like you said, he does have that 3rd base up and running, or not up and running, but he's got it up, and he's not going to lose too much sleep over that, as his production is starting to kick off pretty well here. And the Spire coming in, Mutalisks, oh my gosh, this is just going to be such a big, I'm trying to think of a better word than nuisance for
annoyance
Dream to deal with. Yeah, let's go with that.
Horrible experience.
It's going to make Dream cry.
Yeah,
let's go with that. Even if he's able to back it, to counter it and destroy it, it's still going to make you cry seeing those at any stage of a game.
Yeah, he's gonna go for the bio as well here, so usually you would like to incorporate a bit of dropping with that as well, which is of course not gonna be all that easy to do with Mutalisk on the fields, but you know what? For all you StarCraft 2 fans out there, we are gonna be having the Mutaling Vayne army, I guess, versus the bio tank army here, which is one of these compositions that people just love to see.
Yeah, already some good damage on this drop, just rotating around to the 4th base once again. And just doing a good job of making sure that Su has to defend both locations. A small, like a reinforcement coming into the 4th base as well. Good positioning up there on the cliff. The Mutalisks nowhere to be seen, as they are already across the map, ready to do some damage. There are no missile turrets in this base, so this is where you start to scream as a Terran player, saying, "Oh my gosh, why did I not see this?"
Oh, yeah, this is quite horrid indeed. I mean, the Marines are trying to scramble up some sort of a defense, but oh my dear Lord, Dream did not put any missile turret in his natural either. Did he go for the third base? Nothing there either. So the Munilists continue to ramp up the damage here, finding more kills in every which base he goes to. Without losing too many of those Mutalisks himself. Even gonna grab this. Oh my god, almost grabbing that medevac there. Putting it very low. Has to get repaired. If he likes to get his insurance this year.
Yeah, so Dream, he kind of realizes that with the amount of damage he's taken, he needs to go. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Keep in mind that there is no Baneling Nest. It is pure roaches on the field. And actually, Dream going to back off once again. So,
huh, that is interesting. I kind of assumed there would be a Baneling Nest. I think he may have forgotten it, because he did go for the +1 melee attack here, and not the ranged attack. But his army composition is screaming more so roaches rather than the Ling Baneling. Yeah. Alright, interesting, interesting. And now, again, he's getting +2 as well for the melee.
Yeah, well, he is getting that Baneling Nest now that he kind of realizes it. But he doesn't need those roaches, because otherwise he's just going to get completely overwhelmed until that Baneling Nest is finished. So overall, Dream just trying to get as close as possible. He's being very cautious because he doesn't know that there isn't a Baneling Nest. And Sue just taking full advantage of Dream's caution and moving across the map himself to pick off the reinforcements. And oh my gosh, this is tragic for Dream right now.
The wall left entirely open. The links are in. Alright, on the high ground we do have a lift up there with the supply depot, but in the main base a lot of, the Zerg base here, a lot of the bios landing right on top of all of those bio forces, not really dodging whatsoever. And yeah, you cannot let that happen. You're losing so much value there, not really microing those units against those bios. And +2, it looks like, okay, +1, 2 weapons does get finished up. +2 armor might be able to get saved here, but jeez Louise, this is again such a heavy blow for Dream. Okay, no, never mind. That is denied. GG is called. And once more, Sue is looking very, very dominant and takes a 3-1 lead here versus his opponent. It felt like a 3-0 because that one game that Dream did win did seem a little bit like a one-sided one. Well, just a little cheeky one where he got caught off guard. He didn't expect it. And, alright, well, good games to Dream. And unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodbye to him right here.
Yeah, I mean, GG, Dream, congratulations for getting this far. But now it is time for the main event. This is going to be a best of 7 PVZ, and I mean, obviously this is going to be top tier. We've already seen how these guys react to each other.
Yeah. Let me see. Sue is A. Sue is A. Alright, videoing in out of the way there. Alright, guys. Thank you all for watching. I would like to do another shout out here to, well, our sponsor. It is going to be the F-Bomb. It's one of our newest sponsors here. We very much appreciate all these new sponsors that we can get. Can I get this actually on screen here real quick? Let me see if I can make that happen. I'm not sure if I can. Alright, I can't really that quick. Well, maybe if I do it like this. You know what, I'm gonna, give me a second here, guys. Entertain the crowd for a moment. Here, Passer, please, okay?
Okay, well,
I'm almost there. Alright, I already have. There we go. Alright, smart.
I forgot English for there for a second.
Alright, the F-Bomb, there it is. Alright, that's one of our sponsors. Let me do a shout out to them. They have, wait, alright, so the, let me start off. Alright, the F-Bomb, it's one of our new sponsors. They are in the line of low carb, high fat foods to help you live a healthier life. And, yeah, so it's a low carb and fat foods. Wait, alright, so it's both low or is it high fats? I don't know, fat is smart. Fuel. Alright, so I guess it is high fat. Alright, I need to do more research into this before I actually start doing the shout out. Anyway, they do some awesome stuff, it appears, and it's very healthy stuff, at least. That's what I am certain of. They research, test, taste, and source the highest quality ingredients and put them into custom-made packages. Thanks to F-Bomb products and their unique packaging, finding tasty, high-quality fat options at home or on the go is no longer a challenge. Whether you're at work, at the gym, or on a hike, traveling around the world, whatever, you'll want to be sporting F-Bombs. So go check them out, guys. They are a wonderful sponsor. Thank you so much. There they are. Aerosol and Maturino. Oh, let me get rid of this this thing again. There it is. Okay, lovely. We'll just keep that in existence. Alright, so one is World of Sleepers. That is, no, wait, that is the thing. So what are we left with? Alright, so we did World, Night, Simulacrum, Ephemeron,
I think they just chose the maps. Like did AB pick instead. Because what we were gonna do, guys, is do best of 7 loser pick after picking the last map, but looks like they just gave us a full order. Did you veto our pick? Sue just says yes.
Alright, we might just one first. Alright, well, I'm
Looks like we
I don't think they understood the veto process. We need a translator in here. Should we tell them to redo this, or are we just gonna go with?
Let's go with their map picks. You know, they did it right. First one, World of Sleepers. Second,
no, they understood.
Night.
They understood now. I think they understood.
Okay, well, we'll get this games right underway, ladies and gentlemen. Do not worry, these guys are ready and raring to go for that top spot and the big bulk of the $300 that is going into this tournament. And if you guys want to add a little bit more, we actually have a Maturino code, which I believe is up there in the chat as well. So you guys just head on over to maturino.com and use that code to add a little bit of money to the prize pool, help these players out, and let them live their dream.
I wish I knew what they were saying. I wish I knew.
I'm copy pasting into Google Translate as fast as possible.
Are you getting any information there? Are you getting any wiser about what they're saying?
According to this, Sue just said going to hospital.
Going to hospital? Maybe he's laughing that much. He's going to go to the hospital. He's just having so much fun with our tournament. Yeah. They're still discussing a lot.
Yeah, we might just have to tell them. But yeah, we are getting the go-go from these guys.
See, soon ready to. All right, yeah, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, World of Sleepers is going to be our first map.
It's fine. It's fine. It would be a waste to let their feeder-wing process go down the drain there, of course. All right, so yeah, I mean, sound Can he make it work? He's gonna have to face against Sue. The previous time, I believe it ended up in a 2-0 for Sue, if I'm not mistaken. Am I mistaken? I might be mistaken. Yeah, they didn't play before. They never met before.
They have not played before.
So,
They might have met way back. They might have met way back when he was a StarCraft 2 player at the first time, but
maybe. Maybe.
I don't think they have.
This time around, yeah, they haven't played just yet. All right. Anyway, so that means we're in our first go-ahead in the matchup between these two. Remember, guys, you can have a replay pack which is available. The link is above the chat window, I believe. Unless you want, yeah, it's towards the Matcherino page anyway. You can buy it over there. You'll be adding a bit of money to the prize pool by doing that, as well as you'll be getting all the replays for all the 3 days here. So if you're interested in any of the games, go check it out and have yourself a good couple of maps to analyze. Anyway, in the top right position we have, fighting for Alpha X, the new addition, the Blue Protoss. He is Zaun.
And his opponent looking dominant in that last series, representing representing Afrika TV. It is Sue.
The Alpha X Freaks.
The Alpha Freaks.
The Alpha Freaks.
Which would be a pretty cool name.
Wouldn't be too bad.
It's like a combination. It's like when when Axiom and the other team teamed up for that one tournament way back in the day, and they just picked a name that was second to both. And
what was the name?
I forget.
Okay, I don't know either, honestly. Well, yeah, it sounds like a thing that would be cool.
I'm just trying to sound like a StarCraft nerd, and it's not working.
It happened at some point. Yeah, I mean, I loved Axiom. It seemed like a really cool team. Anyway, what is happening in this game so far? We're seeing pretty standard macro openings here. Twilight Council going to be the route for Zaun. Trying to keep this probe alive. A little bit of nibble there, here and now. And there goes the third base drone. So Zaun seeing that it's not incredibly quickly, but most likely still expecting that to be put down. So yeah, there he goes again, back around, checking again whether or not this is a 2-base or a 3-base Zerg. And seeing, oh, there you go. Alright, there's the third base. Gonna be a happy camper and move back home again.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what he decides to throw down after this. It's actually going to start things off with an Adept Glaives build here.
Oh my.
That is pretty nice, you know. The Adept Glaives is very powerful if it's not scouted, which we'll have to see if Sue can kind of get an inkling that this is on the way here, as that Overlord is going to be stuck in that little peep position for a bit and not really be able to get in here and get a full scout off.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that World of Sleepers is so big for Zerg sometimes, but then again, it's also a negative for his Overlord scouting, because it takes a really long time for those Overlords to make their way across the map here. He has 2 other Overlords out on the map trying to look for proxies or anything of the sorts. He's not really finding them though. And, well, yeah, it looks like he might actually be blindsided here. He sees 2 more Adepts at the front door, but that is nothing too crazy. That's pretty standard. Zaun is trying his best to keep this this Stalker on the Overlord hunt. But yeah, there's no Overlords really to be hunted here on the top left side of his base.
Yeah, the big tell that this is going to be coming is really going to be that Warp Prism. If you scout that out, then you know exactly what's coming your way. So yeah, we're going to see the first couple of Adepts load up, and he's just building a couple more gateways so that he can really just warp in quickly on the other side of the map. Other than that, this is now scouted for the first time. Glaives is complete, so those roaches are going to have their work cut out for him.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, he is getting quite a couple of roaches here. His layer tech is about to finish up as well. He has a reasonable amount of queens, 5 queens on the overall unit tab, but is it going to be enough here? Because those adepts, of course, are going to be able to force a split of the units. He's actually completing this shade I'm not sure if he wanted
That's
to.
risky.
Yeah.
That is completely risky.
He's losing all of these adepts right now. Shading into the main base. Okay, so he did get to the mineral line ultimately, but he's only gonna get 2 workers here. 4 more adepts trying to get close once again on his 3rd base. And do get a bit more damage this time around, but...
I mean, that's the big problem. That first warp in and that first shade in is where you're supposed to do the damage. You're not supposed to lose it because you can't snowball if you lose that. As we see, Sue is really holding on super well behind all of this. You're not going to get too much else done here, unfortunately, as Zune, and he's just going to have to kind of forfeit this, go back home, maybe do some small little poking harassments, but there is units in position literally everywhere for Sue right now.
Yeah.
And as I say that, they literally leave, so thanks guys for showing me that.
And you know what I love about Sue right now as well is that he's just gonna go straight back into droning again. He's losing some workers here actually at the natural. More adepts coming in through there, so you know what, that is still a little bit of lost workers there, but I mean he's just been droning like a madman. Like he did lose quite a couple by now. 18 workers for 12 adepts. Which, you know what, no longer is that crazy bad for the zone, but because Sue has just been so adamant about continuously making more and more drones, as that kind of even was still happening, right? He was like, alright, I beat the initial wave, I'm just going to go back to droning right now, I'm feeling comfortable. He's not in that weird position, but he might still lose more workers though, as these adepts finding more damage again.
Yeah, you know, a little bit of damage. This is going to force Sue to kind of remake these drones. Possibly, but now that those are gone, actually another warp in, he's gonna want to get out of there, honestly. But Sue, like you said, he's feeling pretty comfortable with himself right now. He does have the room to breathe, and Zaun actually not making that much back at home. I hate to say, because only just now is he starting to rewarp things in. And did he? Yes, he did actually get blink. So.
Oh my dear Lord. Okay, so he's gonna go for a big attack here. He just has a bunch of sentries moving across the map right now. 2 immortals with it as well. Yeah, this is gonna just be a big all-in from Zune. Zaun. Keep saying it wrong. Anyway, Stog's being warped in as well. This could work out rather well. There's how many Ravagers are there? There's 3 only right now, and that's, you know what, he needs marvelous biles right here on top of those sentries, I think, really to make this work. Okay, now he has more, but he loses that 4th base, and you know that already on its own is a very good amount of damage being dealt here by Zaun. Can he push forwards here? Can he push this advantage?
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to force the army towards that 3rd base. He just wants to get into a position where he can fight in an open field, it kind of seems like, so he has the ability to split, as those banelings will absolutely be torturous to deal with. He does have a couple of immortals in the back. Those are really good versus the roaches, but you can see Zune, he's very, very careful here not to overextend and lose this game because of it. Just clearing up the creep as well is really nice because it gives him so much more room to maneuver. Even shading off a couple of adepts to get into the mineral line of Sue.
Yeah. I mean, Zaun really wants to make use of this choke points here. He's desperately trying, and those, you know what those adepts doing? Again, quite a bit of damage here. Oh my god, the force fields weren't there in time this time around though. The bios dropping hot right on top of most of those sentries. There's still a couple remaining, and there's, well, maybe the one more shield can be placed down by those sentries. They need to do it right now though. Okay, there we go, that's a good emplacement. He's going to be able to get away again, out of harm's way. He's still going to lose those 2 sentries though, it looks like.
Yeah, but
you know, good turnaround with those stalkers, safeguarding those sentries. They are valuable units, man. You need to keep those alive for as long as possible.
Yeah, he's only got half the army supply though, which is very scary for him right now, especially with the amount of Ravagers. Those immortals don't get the bonus damage versus those anymore, but these, a lot of Warpins are at risk here. And you do have to be careful as Su, now that there are disruptors and now that there's still some force fields in play. But honestly, he just looks like an overwhelming amount of Zerg coming in here. Su doing what he can to just finish things here and now.
Reasonable disruptor hits. Zone, I mean, those dogs are getting dangerously red. Trying his best with the blink micro. Oh, getting caught by a couple of those Ravager Biles though. He still has an Immortal as well. The shield battery is completely empty. Can he keep this up? Another good disruptor shot. He might be able to turn this one around ever so slowly. It's gonna come down to the last bits of Zerglings coming in now as well. It looks like, you know what, Su just feels like he can finish this. Yeah, and you know, he's right. He's definitely right. Too many links coming back in as reinforcements. And there it is, GG being called. The first game going to Su. This sound just, unfortunately for him, not having the stuff that he needed there. Overstaying is welcome on the other side of the map there. And
a very good start to this series. And looks like we're going to be going into Nightshade for our second map.
Let me see if this was in fact the order that yeah, okay, it was okay. Just checking that we're not doing two veto systems
two veto systems at the same time.
Yeah,
whichever one works.
Whatever. As long as they don't complain, it's fine. Alright, Nightshade, our next map, and both saying go-go. At least I just read GG as go-go, but I'm sure he meant that, right?
Of course.
Yeah. A slight typo.
Yeah, yeah, I gotta say props to these guys too. Zune actually just came off. Actually, no, Su coming off immediately after his series. Zone had a little bit of time to just kind of relax, chill. But still, Su showing how dominant he is and how those marathon gaming sessions help him out. And I mean, speaking of marathon gaming sessions, it's this guy right here gonna go for a sprint to the finish. It is Zone.
And his opponent playing for a Freak of Freaks, Red Zerg. His second place person, but he might get first place here once again. He's broken the curse before. Can he do it again? He is Su. A very, very scary opponent. And Zone just not really as well acclimated just yet to the overall top tier StarCraft 2, of course. Still a little bit of a new addition to the StarCraft 2 player list after coming back from League of Legends, is what I've been told.
I did look it up. He did play League of Legends and Overwatch, apparently.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so that's the thing about StarCraft 2. It always pulls you back in. No matter how much you hate one of the races or how badly you rage quit, you will almost always see yourself back in that chair playing StarCraft 2, even if it's just for fun one day.
Yeah, it is such a good game, honestly. And you know what? That's why I'm still casting it. Yeah, that's why we're still making tournaments for it and events and stuff like that. It's not just the game; it's also the community, of course. There's just so much going around and so much going in favor for StarCraft 2. It's just a blast to have it be like this, guys. As well as thank you all for watching. I hope you're having a good time, and I hope that Sound can bring a couple of good games here against Su, because he's just such an incredible beast to try and take down.
Yeah, Sound. Yeah, you know, he does have that uphill battle, but he's still showing that he does have some really good builds up his sleeve. Especially versus some top tier players like Creator, like his other opponents in these games. And overall, looks like we are going to see Stargate play, which is pretty nice since this is, again, a pretty large map, which kind of favors the creep spread of Zerg. But so you got to use that Stargate play to kind of push push back a little bit against your opponent.
Yeah, a different way to try and combat the Zerg here. Once again, we're seeing not that much scouting coming out of Su here. I'm not quite sure. I mean, he doesn't have eyes on those 2 gas geysers. He doesn't really... Well, I guess he sees the adepts being created, right? But other than that, it feels like it's going to be difficult for him to really get a good scout off with this Overlord near the natural base.
Yeah, I actually like this build. It's a very safe yet very effective strategy, where essentially you use these couple of adepts, and when they pull the workers off to get away from the Oracle, you just zoom on in with these adepts and get some good damage done overall. This Phoenix gonna help out as well, but this does reveal that it is indeed Stargate play, although it does supply a block Su. Now, the Oracle is the big question. Will it be able to get any damage done now that there are Spore Crawlers on the way, and now that... actually, some good micro from Su there.
Yeah, the Adepts have to recall here with those Speedlings right on top of it. That was a very quick call, actually, to do the recall. I'm not sure if I would have made that same one that quickly. Probably not, but probably wouldn't do anything as quickly as these guys. But, yeah, very nice decision making there. Seeing that he was in trouble, getting those out of harm's way. And now he still has the, well, at least one of them, of course, ready to help defend against these Lings here. Oracle staying defensive as well. He's not really even trying to get any damage done here. And Su, he's been happily droning. He, how many? Well, he has 45 right now. Still kind of equal amount. So Sound really keeping up with the overall worker creation so far. But I think that Su is going to be running away with it because he's realizing, you know what, the Stargate is here. You're going for a third base as well, so I can just drone away like a madman right now, and that's what we're seeing. He's going to go for a rescout again as well, checking to see how many gateways are here, what kind of attack is down, and seeing only 3 gateways, that's not too scary. So yeah, you
actually see, like, he sees the amount of Phoenix as well. We actually saw this a lot with Creator yesterday, getting that 5 to 6 Phoenix hit squad, and then going into that heavy Immortal, Colossus, Disruptors. It was super effective. Granted, it was versus a Terran opponent, but now you just have so much harassment potential. There's a lot of dead space behind the third base and the main that you can just seriously abuse, especially since the Queens don't have the creep spread from the main base to actually go all the way in.
Yeah, there's some pretty solid creep spread the other ways around, but definitely lacking there a little bit on the, like you said, the creep spread in between the bases. But I mean, he does have a, has had a good solid defense. Only 2 workers have gone down so far, and it looks like, you know what, he's gonna be marching across the map here. A lot of roaches and Lings on the production tab. Queens marching across as well. And what does Zaun actually have to defend against this? Look at this armada of Zerg walking down the ramp towards the ramp as well, the other ramp. It's gonna be trouble.
Trying to pick off the... Oh no! Ugh. He just got hit by that stasis trap, and now his attack is a lot less scary, honestly. But still, he does have good forces here with the Queens. You're not going to be able to get as much done with those Phoenix as you would like. Plenty of transfuse energy. He's just going to come in here, break the force fields, and he will be pushed back for a little bit. But now the Lings are going to join into the fight.
Yeah, not that much here left to really combat all those Lings. Not that many adepts, and the Biles landing like crazy on top of the shield batteries first. Now on top of the Zealots that are being locked in. The Oracle also getting biled down. You know, with this amount of Ravagers and Queens still transfusing them as well. This is looking very rough for Zaun, and yeah, Su just shows his dominance once more in a game that I'm not sure how long it will still keep going here.
Yeah, he's just gonna take out the third base, and I don't think he should overextend too much without this lingering reinforcement. He's got to be careful though, because you still do have that stasis ward right there, and if you get caught by that, your attack is just so much less powerful. And actually, he's about to get hit by it once again. Sue, still making a couple of mistakes, is still able to kind of keep this push going. Those queens absolutely decimating this, but the immortal count now is keeping him alive. That is until
those links are freed up again.
Unfreeze right on top of him.
Also 10 Mutalisk right now in the production tab. Like, even if all these Ravagers and Queens right now die without any Elder damage being taken, those Mutalisk are gonna do game-ending amounts of damage on those mineral lines that have no support whatsoever. And they're going to be flying over here real quickly. So a nice decision there by Sue to just make a quick tech switch after dealing so much damage, forcing his opponents into mass immortals away from the Phoenixes here. And look at that. Yeah, that is a panic move now. A recall going to have to be instituted. GG card immediately as well. And Sue taking another game. And right now only 2 games away from a victory here.
Let's say.
Terrifying beast. Zen, wait, what? Oh, he's gonna go for Zen now.
Yeah, I mean, overall, these games have just been very action-packed. Sue not really standing back and letting his opponent get up those, get those late game techs. He's just instead forcing those engagements very early on. And it looks like we got the go-go from at least Sue right now.
Yeah. And Sound. He's also going.
Everybody's going.
Going.
It's like, once you go, you can't stop.
Need to keep their hands warm here. As, you know what? I believe it's still winter in Korea as well, right?
Yeah, it's the winter everywhere. It's Florida, and I'm freezing right now.
Yeah, it is a little bit cold. It is a little bit cold. Alright, anyway, guys. Hopping into this game, in the bottom left side, we have a blue Protoss. He's fighting for survival. Can he manage to get a couple of victories on the board here? Perhaps even a full-blown victory after, well, what seems to be not completely a favorite match for him. Anyway, he is the Alpha X player, Zaun.
And his opponent in the top, he is sporting the red of champions, and he is representing Africa Freaks. It is Sue.
Okay, once more.
Now the question is, what will Zune really kind of do to stem the flow of Zerg here in these next couple of games? Because it's all going to be about these next couple of games.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure if Zune really expected a lot here versus Sue. To be fair, I don't want to be too much of a Debbie Downer, but I mean, just overall, if you look at the accomplishments of these 2 players, I mean, it's amazing that Zune actually got into the finals here. I feel like compared to his other combatants here as well. You know what? I'm very much impressed already by his plays, but Sue, he's just another caliber of player. He is really one of those, you know what, top maybe 3 Zergs of the Korean region. It's gonna be hard to find other Zergs that are, you know, on his level or better than him. You might call Rogue, Dark, people like him, on the Korean side, of course. But yeah, other than that, I mean, good luck. Good luck finding somebody who's better than Sue. And even then, I mean, you can make a case that Sue, in some cases, could be a better Zerg than those other 2.
Yeah, Sue has just been dominant, like, in recent times. Like after his win at IM last year, you just see that you've just seen kind of a new Sue, because it used to be he would make it to the finals and kind of flounder a little bit, not show the best games. But now, even when he's in those finals, even if he does fall, they're just so much better in a way that you can kind of see that confidence level go up and up. And speaking of confidence, he's going to be very confident about what he sees here, because he does get a scouting ling into the main base, and we'll actually see that Twilight Council that, by the way, isn't researching, but now is Adept Glaives.
Yeah, Adept Glaives. I mean, he did make some good moves with the Adept Glaives previously. I do think it was a little bit of a mistake, of course, like we said before, to actually commit to the first initial warp that he did. Definitely felt like that could have gone a little bit better. Maybe he just wasn't expecting as many forces to really be there, and maybe he actually did think about, you know what, that he caught Sue off guard a little bit more than he did. And normally, you know what, if you do catch your opponent off guard like that, it's a lot more possible for him to really just warp, well, a shade in there and just start killing stuff, you know. But yeah, just no luck for him so far in that department. Will it be happening this time around? Who knows? There's the Roach Warren on the way. There's no Baneling Nest yet, so I think that is, you know what, a little bit easier way to deal with it. But the Roaches, of course, a little bit more versatile, perhaps, at the other stuff they can deal with as well.
Yeah, the Roach is just a very good call. They're safe versus pretty much anything Twilight Council early on. And, you know, overall, we're going to have to see if Zone can really get that critical mass of adepts that you really need. It's all going to come down to, again, that first shade in, because you don't want to be losing your first couple of adepts. Otherwise, it just snowballs too heavily in Sue's favor here, and it does look like Sue is in position to defend against this, so Zaun might actually just be out of here for a little bit.
Yeah, very unfortunate getting caught with his pants down. Those adapts still warping in there. Luckily for him, they were about to finish up, so not losing them just yet. This is a nice maneuver though, getting the attention away from the worker line there with those roaches, and a couple of adepts there warping backwards. Another couple of adepts there in the natural line, and now gonna go into the main base. Looks like Sue is caught onto this though. But another adept coming into the third base once more. Should be able to target down those workers, perhaps. There it goes. Yeah, good control so far from Zaun. He's really bringing it. A good amount of kills so far. How many did he lose? 5 adepts so you know what? I feel like this went a little bit better. A little bit of a less committal though as well. Less kills, but in the end, he still has the War Prism, he still has those adepts roaming around. Might still be able to get some work done here.
Yeah, getting the creep tumors is nice. Just a little bit of additional damage slows down that vision on the Zerg's player's side of the map. So I don't like that he lost all those adepts, but behind it, he is just going into the bog standard force field immortal play, as well as getting blink behind this just to make those stalkers a lot more versatile. So essentially, Sue is gonna have to react once again to this, and we've kind of seen how Sue likes to react to it with some very heavy aggression.
Yeah.
Although he keeps
definitely loves
his
this
overlords.
aggression, doesn't he? So far. I really enjoyed this little game attack that is happening here with the Overseer and the War Prism. Really trying to just keep tabs on what that War Prism is doing. But alright, here we go. Another. I guess this really is the same follow-up here from Zaun. Coming in again. This has to work this time around for him. Can he make it happen? He does have a good amount of force fields again, but the Ravagers are just there to counteract those. Baneling speed not ready yet. Not any Banelings out on the field yet either. Sound needs to keep dodging those bios. There actually is a Baneling drop right on top of the mineral line there of the natural base of Zound. Did manage to get 6 kills there.
You know, this time the force fields are... Yeah, the force fields are a little bit better. The drones actually having to be pulled here. And that's a lot of drones going down for essentially free. The roach count is starting to falter as well, so Zound might actually be pushing through here. It's going to come down to whether these reinforcements can do enough. But to blink in, and Sue is actually just going to tap out.
All right then. Okay, Sue. I mean, he did manage to get a single, pretty reasonable connection there on his on the sentries with the banelings, but it just didn't happen. All right, so that means that we're gonna be moving on here. Let's see what map we're gonna be jumping into. Interested in seeing what's gonna happen here. How much confusion we have caused with this veto process. Let me see where the... What did they say before?
Like it's gonna be Simulacron.
Simulacrum. Ah, okay. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Okay, Simulacrum is going to be the choice here for Sue.
Pretty solid choice.
A very solid choice, yeah. Again, though, it's... Well, I'm wondering what we're going to be seeing out of Zune. I think it's a smart choice. Just going to go for the Glaive Adepts. Or at least, like, some sort of an aggressive build like that. I mean... Is it the most interesting StarCraft to see? Maybe not, but I mean, it definitely is his best chance to defeating Sue here. And I mean, if he manages to beat Sue, just a couple more games here, he's going to be making a name for himself, right? If he gives Sue a bit of trouble here, even if he manages to grab a win against Sue, imagine that, guys. Soon grabbing a win versus Sue in a best of 7. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. And you know what? That's going to cause people to pay a lot more attention to Zune here. We're spawning in the bottom right side, the blue Protoss. Give it up for the Alpha X Zune.
And his opponent up here in the top, looking to quench his thirst for blood, is Africa Freaks Sue.
Drone hopping down into that natural base. Gonna go for a hatchery first again. Hatchery brew.
Yeah, you know, you can, like, just with how big these maps are, you can kind of just safely do the more normal stuff. You don't really need to commit to having that early pool for defense. So overall, Sue just feeling nice and comfortable here, going to enjoy his time on this map. I feel he's just going to you know, savor a victory in terms of how he's going to play this one out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's gonna get to play his own game though. You know what, Zune so far, he has been very aggressive against Sue. So maybe we're gonna be seeing that again. I am kind of expecting it, to be fair. Kind of forcing Sue into his, well, the defensive playstyle here. This is a very quick third base. Look at the timing on that one. Before grabbing his queens, going for that third base, pre-2 minutes. And you know what? I'm just gonna look at Zound right now. What his response will be? What is your response, Zound?
Yeah, it all comes down to pylon placement. I think this is going to be Stargate play once again, just with how things go. And actually, I lied. It's going to be Twilight once again. Might be going for an if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of deal with the Adept Glaives once again. But we will have to see, because, you know, you got a lot of different pathways you can go for once you get that Twilight Council.
Yeah, and the thing to keep in mind here is that, of course, Sue did invest a lot more money this time around into that quick third hatchery. Is they going to be influential to this build? Is it like him just adjusting, trying to prep against this build specifically, just being a little bit more greedy at the start? realizing that his opponent is going to be coming in a little bit later on. So he knows that he can get that third base rather securely. Or, I don't know, could it be him just not expecting something like this coming in again, right? For a third time in 4 games.
Yeah, I mean, again, he got so much work done with it last time. He might just be feeling comfortable with it and kind of just do it until it doesn't work anymore. Sue, however, has been very good about kind of getting these reactions to it. And, you know, after the third, is third time really the charm here?
Perhaps. It's gonna be, you know, I just don't think Sue is the kind of player that will keep falling for the same trick. In a way, it might happen. Who knows? But you know, I could be wrong. But you know, it's just a really tough call, honestly. The Roach Warren seems to be coming out right now, and that should be lining up rather nicely with the overall attack coming in here from Zaun. And I honestly do feel like Sue has adjusted this build a little bit here in trying to adjust for the adept aggression.
Yeah, he hasn't seen a move out. He hasn't seen anything like that, so he should be knowing that this is going to be some sort of adept play, as he does see that there are 4 adepts out coming his way.
Coming over, and it's a dark shrine behind us actually, so we do have a little bit of a mix-up. It's making it look exactly like the previous games. That is very cool to see from Zaun here. That's the way to win games, honestly. Trying to, you know what, make things appear very, very similar, and then suddenly throwing out a wild card there. And, well, there is a lay attack on the way here for Sue, so he's still playing it safe. He's still trying to cover all those bases. But, you know what, it also looks like he should be able to defend rather nicely against these adepts. Let's take a look. Will these 4 adepts actually go into the mineral line? They might do. Oh, okay. No, deciding not to do so. He has adept hit squads at every single base. He's ready to go, man.
Yeah, he's being very conservative with them right now. He does not want to lose them. But once he does get that double-pronged harassment in, that's going to be fantastic for him.
Yeah, but Sue is just everywhere. Look at this. He has hit squads against the adepts in every single base. Is it gonna be... Well, yeah, it's gonna come down to the micro here. Okay, the main base is not being hit, though. At the same time, it looks like Zaun kind of... I don't know if he's dropping the ball there, or maybe decided not to do so at all. Okay, now in come the Dark Templar at the same time as well. We need to have a Overseer. There's no Overseer on the map yet. There's none in production either. How much damage can these Dark Templar do? And here we go. Okay, they're targeting down the Roach first of all 4 of them on top of this natural base right here. There's another Adept in the 3rd base. This could very well end rather quickly if this damage keeps going. Okay, then Hatchery looks like it might fall. Oh, it's getting closer. Okay, there we go. And a recall. Transforming him into Archons. A quick call. Decision making. Very good here from Zaun. Saving 2 of those. And oh my god, look at the damage just rolling on in. It keeps coming. 18 workers in total getting killed off. And a base getting killed off there. Sue definitely not expecting those Dark Templars. A very, very smart maneuver there from Zaun.
He's down on workers and down on bases now, so this is just really tricky position. He's going for the Spire, which does have a very nice comeback mechanic on it, but the problem is you do have those Archons with the DTs, and with a little bit of warp micro with that War Prism, those Mutalisks are like paper tigers, so you have to hide them until the very last second.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's a desperation move, but it kind of feels like Sue thinks his hands are tied.
Yeah, he wants to start doing some damage himself. This might actually still transition into a little bit of a macro game afterwards. Not sure how much time Zaun can really give Sue here. He's getting himself blinked, so that's going to help out a lot against those Mutalisks as well. Did he actually see the spy? Okay, now he did. It might be, he might confuse it with a Spore Crawler, though. That could happen there, of course.
I think he clicked on it.
Alright, lovely stuff, sure. Yeah, he should be aware. Yeah, he's making cannons right now. That's a wonderful job here by Zaun, making all the right calls right now. keeping tabs on his opponent, realizing that he's going to feel pressure to try and make something work here, and I just need to figure out what it is and try to prep for it, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. A changeling coming in here, seeing that there's a third base. Yeah, Zaun, he's coming in with the aggression. We're seeing that, you know what, Mutalisk, I probably don't want to fight those Mutalisk on my side of the map, because those Mutalisks can do quite a bit of harassment, and I'm just gonna get outran because they're so gosh darn quick. And yeah, wants to fight, forced to fight right now by going on top of the bases of his opponent. This is gonna be enough though, as there are quite a lot of roaches and Link still in the production. We only have 5 Mutalisks right now who are trying to do damage here, but they're finding a cannon in every single mineral line. Oh, a recall actually. Getting all of his units back here. It's very interesting. Feeling that he cannot do the damage that he was wanting to do on the other side here. Is this Archon stuck? Oh my dear lord, that is
Archon is indeed stuck.
That's so rough. Archons, man. Archons are the... just...
They are such a nuisance to control, which is hilarious because of how powerful they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's gonna get the pickup here, and I would actually love to see this Warp Prism just go into the main base and get started on that drone count. Now, keep in mind that we're not seeing any more Mutalisks in the production tab, as Su is getting closer and closer to max out, while Zune still about 50 to 60 supply away from said max out. So yeah, I mean, overall, I don't hate Su's position here. He's kind of been rebuffed in a lot of different ways, but he still has so many tools at his disposal right now.
He definitely does, but you know what? You gotta give credit to Zaun. He does have a very solid economy right now. He's ahead in workers, I guess. I mean, it's by a little bit, but that's versus a Zerg as a Protoss. It's not too shabby. And you know what? His bases are very secured as well against those Mutalisk. He has now multiple cannons in 2 of his mineral lines. Also, shield batteries everywhere. His army as well. I mean, it's a scary army. Su mostly has roaches right here. And roaches, they aren't the best against those stalkers.
Yeah, especially those Archons with the Lings. Just overall, this is going to be a scary fight for Su here. He needs to get that full 360 surround. Oh no, still no Spore Crawlers in the 3rd base. So that DT is going to go to town, force a pull of a couple different workers here.
Yeah.
And these Mutalisks, you know, they're still trying to get some damage done back at Zune's base, but it's no dice right now. Even fighting off of creep is Su. He needs to clean this up if he is going to have a chance in this. So far doing an okay-ish job, but without the Overseer, those DTs just really pushing him back. And I think Zune has enough to just kind of steamroll here.
Yeah.
All things considered.
I think you're right. Those force fields hitting at the right time as well. No officers still. Okay, there they are finally now helping out. More reinforcements coming in for Su as well at the same time. But I mean, how much can he still afford to throw into Zune's army here? Well, well, I mean, is this it? It might be. Army supply for Zaun is dropping a little bit here, but so is that of Su. It's a tough call. The base might still die. It's being targeted down right now, and Transfuse is hitting it, but oh, it's getting so close. It's getting so close. It's almost down. There it goes. All right, the cookie is crumbling here for Su. We might be up in a tied-up situation again for Zaun here.
Yeah, these guys fighting it out. These guys definitely fighting it out, and with this last couple of warp-ins, that is going to be it. GG is called. Zune ties up the series 2 apiece.
Wow. All right. All right. I mean, he did have to do a lot of damage there in the earlier parts of the game, but he managed to do so, and he walks away with another victory there. That is now 2 apiece. 2 apiece for both these players. I got a little bit worried there for Zaun when Su was just, you know, looking so dominant in those first 2 maps. We're gonna go into a trio tin. The next map.
Well,
choices
now
from Su.
here's the big thing about Su's mind is he let his opponent get up to that late stage army with the Archons, Immortals, and heavy Zealot pressure, or Stalkers rather. So is he going to react with some heavier early game aggression to try and stem the flow of that? Because that was the twice in a row that his opponent walked all over him with that late game army. So
Yeah.
Su's got to be thinking, let me end this quickly. And this is where I think we're going to see some sort of early play here.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Maybe you're right. It could very well be. I mean, we've not seen Su be all that aggressive against his Protoss opponents yet, have we?
Nah, he's just been relying on his macro, which is, by the way, fantastic.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he was just never given enough time to ever get the units that he needed in these last couple of games.
Exactly, yeah. Keeps taking too much damage whenever he does lose. But you know what? Let's see if this man can do it again one more time. In the blue, the Protoss, top left. He is representing Alpha X. He is Sound. Or we do call him Soon sometimes, now and again. Because, you know what, it's Su, and then you want to say Soon, but then, well, we'll try to keep it to Sound. I keep going back and forth.
And his opponent down here in the bottom, he's got a story, and he wants to tell it. Give him all your cheers so he doesn't end up with another second place. It is Su. That would kind of suck if that did happen,
Again, yeah.
another second place.
Especially against one of these lesser known players that is a new kid that is kind of just appeared not that long ago. And is now already taking games of the biggest names in StarCraft 2. Zaun is, you know what, we've been saying it for a while now. He's just a beast. He's really kicking ass and doing the best that he can. And I am thoroughly impressed by his plays continuously when I do get to cast him.
Yeah, the funny thing is we've seen him. I don't think we've seen him actually use Storm today either, which is
Oh.
kind of funny to think about. Just because Storm is kind of one of those things you always kind of expect to see in this matchup in the later stages, but he's just never felt the need for it because he's always just had a little bit better control with his single fire units rather than needing AoE.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We haven't seen that many Disruptors either, or Colossus either. I guess it's just been Archons mostly here. The choice for Zaun. He's gonna come in here, try to block off this third base for a little bit. Su being, again, going back to the slightly later third base, grabbing himself that link speed beforehand. And also getting those queens, of course. And, Zaun going for the Twilight Council.
Once again, it's his bread and butter in this series right now. He feels confident with that Adept Glaives build, and he's just going to keep doing it until it doesn't work. Su, he's got to really see this because he's just been having so much trouble dealing with it. And, yeah, he just really needs to scout it out.
Stalker getting an Overlord there. Almost getting nibbled away by those links, but in the end, I mean, he does get it. That's a reasonable pickoff. And, you know what? 2 links too. That's a worthwhile Stalker there. I just feel Su a little bit falling apart here.
Yeah, it might be it might be a little bit of nerves getting to him as well. It is getting pretty late in Korea, so I think he was playing today, most of today as well in these ESL Cups.
Yeah, that could be actually.
So yeah, he's probably getting tired. Like Creator, I'm sure was exhausted after getting so far. But once again, we see this big swell of drones and not that many units out for Su right now to defend against this Depth Glaive.
And it is, yeah, I think you're making a good point. And then, of course, Su did have to play the best of 5 and then immediately follow it up with the best of 7 here. So Zaun, you know what, he might just be having a little bit of a fortunate moments in that sense. Now, alright, Su's getting ready again once more. He's making his roaches. He's got a good amount of queens in most of his bases. Needs to start prepping to try and take on these adepts once again. Can he do it this time around without taking too much damage? I mean, he's done it before. Can he do it again?
Well, remember, like the last game, he did really utilize those multi-prong harassment here, forcing Su to divide his forces quite significantly. And here we go once again. Zaun going to be going into the third base. He's just going to let that finish take out as many workers as possible here. Sacrificing the adepts a little bit just because they're not going to really have that much fun while they're on creep. But actually gets out of there with 2, so this is still pretty good damage to start things off.
Still a scary hit squad indeed. Trying to rotate into the main base as well. With that War Prism is being kind of heavily met by those roaches and a queen though, so needs to reconsider those options. Goes for the natural instead, but Su, of course, completely aware, seeing that is happening, and you know what, just continuously meeting the War Prism wherever he needs to.
Yeah, good spread on his units. He doesn't want to lose too much more here.
Yeah.
Loses a couple of drones to the Eps, but I think he kills those off. And behind this, once again, it's bog standard. He's been going 4 gateway into Immortals behind this. A lot of sentries, a lot of energy built up. And Su, he's just been sticking with his game plan as well. Ling, Bane, Roach.
Yeah, I still think that is the best way to deal with this. Also, of course, getting a couple of Ravagers. And to be fair, like, I mean, Su did manage to keep his worker count pretty solid here. Only lost 6 workers for 4 adepts. I think that's a pretty solid trade for him. And I think he might just have the economy this time around to defend against what is coming his way here as a follow-up. He just needs to be aware that this follow-up is coming. I think he should be aware, right? Because it's been happening pretty much 2 out of 3 times here. So at least he should be prepping for it. He should be scouting for it, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to get these Lings in a position where they are able to see exactly what is happening here. Sees the third base amount of units that are there. Once again, the War Prism coming through as well. Look, can it get some work done this time around? You know what? Yeah, still finding some workers. That War Prism as well. Gonna be able to pick most of them up again.
Yeah, a lot of that is just guaranteed damage. It's just you want to be careful not to lose them. Robotics facility or bay on the way, so this could either be for disruptors, which we've seen used to great effect today, or Colossus, which have been just solid all overall.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, very interesting here is mixing it up from Zaun. Is he going to be able to, you know, he's getting +1 still as well. Is he going to go for a 4th base here, you think, or is he still going to start doing the push? I mean, he has so many sentries. It would make sense for me that he is going to go for some sort of aggression here.
Yeah, there's no real point for a 4th base right now. You kind of want to save some of that money up for Colossus and those more expensive units. But he's just using the Stalkers to kind of keep some map vision, keep some protection outside is pretty darn good, I feel. Although Su is almost maxed out and will be looking to attack pretty soon, as he's also got Hive on the way. So while that's coming along, he will want to just kind of put some pressure on his opponent.
Yeah, looks like he is aiming towards that Greater Spire here. Which, you know what, is going to be a great attack against what Zaun has. He does have to blink Stalkers, that is fair. But with this enormous ground force, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's going to be very difficult for Zaun really to get underneath those Broodlords and do the damage that he needs to. It looks like Su is going to press his luck here, trying to get some damage done. He's gonna get a cancel on that 4th base. Yes, he is. Alright, good job. Didn't lose too much. Just a couple of links. 30s. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, quite a couple of links, to be fair. But still has a remarkable large army here. And just, you know what, making a little bit of room for him to make a couple of corruptors here. Oh, actually, no, he maxes on those links right now. As he, you know what, it's a good call because in comes Zaun with that Protoss Force. A lot of Stalkers right now. They're on creep though. Not that many force fields remaining anymore. Can Su get a good surround here? Would be the ticket for him to victory here. Coming in from behind with a lot of Banelings might be more than enough. Of those Stalkers, of course, they do have to blink, but if they need to blink on top of creep, that's a lot less time. And, of course, there's not that much maneuverability. Not a lot of places you can run to in these tight quarters. Alright, in comes Zaun, but there's a triple-pronged attack now. Trying to get closer. A very big concave. Nothing from behind, actually. And, you know what? Jeez Louise, Zaun with beautiful force fields here. The Stalkers punishing all these roaches. The Colossus are just absolutely demolishing anything Zerg related here. And that's going to be another GG here. Zaun gonna be taking a victory. And there it is. Yes, Su has to tap out once more. I was really expecting something coming in from behind there as well, but Su just, I don't think he was completely aware of the just the incredible force that was Zaun was packing there. Whew.
That was just impressive.
Yeah.
And Zaun actually going up to match point versus, you know, the terror of Korea.
Yeah. I mean, I was not expecting this. I really wasn't.
Not at all.
As I had been saying pretty much throughout this series, Su, he's just an absolute beast. We weren't expecting too much from him, and yet Zaun is just here. He's chilling. He's taking games. He's just having a blast. And Su, he's gotta be sweating right now. Is he gonna get his ass handed to him by this new kid, this Chobo, if he might say so. I mean, he's not a Chobo, of course, but then again, I mean, it's a new kid. He hasn't been playing for all that long. Yeah, he's having a lot of difficulties. I'd be kind of... I'd be kind of pinching it right now. Yeah. I mean, Su, one game away from losing this right now. The finals against the new acquisition, full Alpha X. This would be a dream come true for a lot of Alpha X fanatics, of course, which, you know, me included as well. It would be very cool to see Zaun kind of take this one. But all right, here we go. It comes down to this one. Are you ready? Are you ready, Passer?
No, but let's do it anyway.
Let's do it anyway. All right, in the top right side, it's the Blue Protoss. One game away right here from total victory. He is Zaun. Did I say Alpha X? I need to mention that again. It's the Alpha.
And his opponent down here, one game away from defeat, but definitely not out. Bring him your kappas, bring him your cheers. It is Africa Freaks, Su.
Right. Su, what are you gonna do, Su? There's not that much left.
He's got his work cut out for him. And right now, he has not gone for any kind of cheesy shenanigans. Probably just does not feel confident enough in those...
You know what we haven't seen yet from Su, actually? Come to think about it, he hasn't been playing the Swarm Host Night Display at all whatsoever, right?
Indeed.
And
that
he loves to play like that.
Map. Yeah, that'd be great.
Is this...
Like, on this map especially.
Yeah. It might be a good call. I don't know why he's not going for it at all. Maybe because of the adept harassment at the start. He feels like he can't really securely transition into that type of army composition. That could be the case, right? I mean, Zaun coming in very aggressively a lot of the time, continuously, kind of forcing Su to play at Zaun's pace. But yeah, I mean, Su I'm not sure if it's just him choosing not to, or if it's him not feeling comfortable with
Probably just
the
hasn't had
games
the
that are
time.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, overall, we might be seeing that as kind of a last-ditch effort here if he's able to really get up that far. Once again, we're going to see that Nexus and the Adept coming out, so pretty standard out of Zaun, but we've seen once that Twilight Council comes down, everything is off the table. Once again, we're going to be seeing those glaives.
Surprise, surprise. Once more, adding in the Twilight Council. I swear, man, if he just goes straight up full charge or something like that from this point on, I'd be
Honestly, that
I'd
would be wonderful. Like, that'd be fantastic, especially if this Overlord, which is going to have speed here very soon, goes in and sees this, then you know for a fact of what you're up against, because you've seen it's been glaives every single time.
Yeah, it's been 5 out of 6 times now or something like that. And yeah, it's glaives again. Here he goes. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Break if it ain't broken. If it's not broken, don't fix it. There we go. I know English. I can speak it. Anyway, robotics facility also on the way here. We're going to be having that Wall Prism walking around as well, helping out those adepts here. Once more, the Overlord is going to be able to scout around in the base of Zaun here. But do you really need to scout at this moment anymore, Sue? I guess you do. I mean, just to make sure, right?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta know that it's there, and he just barely gets a glimpse of it. He doesn't see what is researching, but I mean, at this point, you can guess.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, it could be something else other than the glaives.
Gee, I wonder what it could be. But yeah, he does throw down that Roach Warren, so he always does have the units for the adepts coming in. It's just sometimes they're not in the right position to deal with it, which really is the point of the build here, to force your opponent to kind of be out of position and hit at multiple locations. At least that's the way Zaun has been playing it.
Yeah. Well, I might be wrong, but I've always seen other Zerg trying to do a little bit more of the Baneling Nest against stuff like this, right? But
yeah, that's helpful. It definitely is if you can get those good connections and get like 2 or 3 adepts per 2 banelings.
Because the roaches, I mean, they deal with adepts pretty nicely, but it still takes them a little bit to kill them, and then you still get quite a couple of shots with those adepts off. And all right, here we go. And they're slow as well, yeah. I mean, banelings are pretty slow too, to be fair, but you can just kind of keep them around in your mineral line and then just get a good connection as soon as those adepts shade in. And voila, you can just pick them off with the queens or just more banelings as well. Here it is. Big shade.
Here we go.
He's gonna cancel this. He needs to cancel this. Don't do this. Okay. Whew.
Okay, good cancel right there. I was about to say he was insane.
He's crazy. He's crazy. What is he doing? He's gonna go for third base.
He's actually playing it a lot more safe with these adepts, you know?
Yeah.
This will mean that he can kind of incorporate these into his main army a little bit later on, which is pretty nice. He doesn't really need to do the damage either, I feel, for Sue here. And actually, I'm loving this. Changing up his reaction. Hydralisk Den on the way. Hydras are just so much better versus this because they can most of the time outrange those force fields and still get damage done.
Yeah, it's also nice that you can have them behind your roaches, and then you have 2 lines of fire instead of just a singular line of the roach fire. And again, yeah, that's just going to increase your DPS by quite a significant amount. It's even getting the upgrades right now for the range for the Hydralisk here. A very smart decision. And yeah, Zaun, he is gonna go for the exact same thing here, adding in the sentries. The adepts being, you know, just kind of fighting these links right here, and he's doing a good job, so might as well. Needs to be careful not to lose the Warp Prism, though. It's getting very low. Oh my god, it's dead. Alright.
Yeah, that queen range, holy cow, that was not good.
That was a bit nutty.
So one thing I like is one thing as well as that lurker den that we're seeing here,
Yeah.
followed up by the infestation pit for a faster hive. Because once you get the hive tech, those no lurker upgrades are just insanely good.
They are incredibly strong indeed, yeah. And I'm just kind of curious to see if he is going to get those lurkers out in time here. The lurker den only halfway completed. Those forces for the Protoss are getting close, very close here. They are a little bit distracted by these overloads though, so he's buying himself a little bit of time with those. But he still needs to transform them into lurkers as well. These Hydralisks, and in come the forces of Zaun already. They're here, they're knocking on your front door. Did Su have enough time to make this tech? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Passer. Nice dodge on the biles here so far. Is it going to be enough? Can Zaun actually push through here? There's a lot less Ravagers, so the force fields are going to be a lot stronger as well. Oh boy,
Yeah, just pushing on through, cleaning up the roaches in the front. Those Hydralisks, they got a lot of DPS and they are very good. But they also, if you get on top of them, can be very squishy here. And Zaun actually making the, does not have a lot of supply, but he's actually feeling confident enough to just blink on top of this. And this might be completely overrun here for Su. He's going to have to abandon this position. 7 more Hydralisks on the production tab with a couple of Lings just to use up the larvae that he has. But Zaun does not need to leave anytime soon here.
What are we watching? Is Zaun actually doing this? Is he pushing Su to the extremity? Is Su just gonna have to give up here? He's making more Ravagers. He just doesn't have the time to go into this lurk attack. It was not here in time at all whatsoever. He lost his 4th base. He still has 3 base behind this. If he can somehow stabilize, maybe, perhaps, he can still find a way to win this game, as he does have a pretty solid work account still. But the Immortals, they're tough. They're coming forward. The drones are being pulled, but the Adepts coming in with the Glaives of Squall still, and they are gonna make short work of those units. And you know what? This is gonna be it. This is gonna be a GG for Zaun. He has made it through every single game here, making a marvelous comeback, winning 4 games in a row. Zaun, what a man,
wow.
What a player. He manages to beat Su in the finals here, 4-2. What a guy. Oh my dear lord, guys.
Holy cow, I'm speechless.
That actually did just happen. I mean, it might be that Su is extremely tired. Who knows? But, I mean, Zaun is the victor here this time around. Very well played there by him, and I am thoroughly impressed. What a guy. Jeez Louise, guys, if you're not already impressed by Zaun, well then you better start being impressed, because he just took on Su 4-2 in a best of 7, and he did it with a, you know what, it wasn't the exact same build, it was the same opener that kind of varied into different builds, and that's, you know, what you always hear is very, very tough to deal with for Zergs, as they are trying to figure out exactly what is going to be hitting them. And yeah, I'm speechless a little bit here. Very well played there by Zaun.
That was incredible, and I mean that means Zaun is your champion for today. Just give him the slow clap.
Alright, good job by him. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. That's gonna be an end for this Ultimate Showdown. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to call it quits here. I don't think anyone was really expecting these results, and that just makes them all the more epic. And yeah, thank you for Alpha X for hosting the event. Thank you for all the players for joining in. Guys, this is a final shout out to the Matcherino page as well, where you can, of course, buy yourself the replay pack. I'm going to show you guys real quick over here. The link should be above the chat window. You're going to be brought over here. I don't think we have any more codes. You might be able to get some codes. I don't know exactly, but I think I've been told they've all been used up. But anyway, we still have, of course, the replay pack that you can buy. All the guys here, a hat, some swag, just a little bit here as well. Of course, every tiny little bit helps. Anyway, all right, guys. X, we're gonna be doing more tournaments. Well, pretty much every week. We're gonna have more stuff. We're gonna have the Junior Cup coming up as well again, which is the tournament for the 15 years and younger players. That's gonna be starting up again next week on Saturday. I hope you all had a lovely time. I definitely did. Pessa, do you have any final words here? Any goodbyes?
It's just been a really good tournament. Thank you to our sponsors, F-Bomb and G Fuel, for giving us this opportunity. And yeah, hit up that Match Arena page. Get these replays. These are awesome. And yeah, other than that, once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Really been a pleasure.
Yeah. All right. Also for me, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been a great time. I've been really Kozen. You can hit me up over here. It's my Twitter. It's my Twitch. And yeah. Talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye-bye.